Fancy lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast,
lad.
fancy lad.
Fancy
Podcast,
lad.
gonna talk to my friends. Gonna share a
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Gonna have a laugh. That's what I
Fancy
thought.
lad.
Fancy lad.
Fancy
Fancy
lad.
podcast. Fancy lad. Fancy lad
Fancy lad.
podcast. Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, yes, and one more yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Oh, two more yeses. Yes, we are back.
Thanks for those two more yeses. The
Yeah, you're
one
welcome.
just wouldn't have sufficed.
Never does.
No.
Never does.
Back on the Fancy Lad podcast as
Mhm.
usual.
Mhm.
And I'm feeling really good about this episode so far. I think it's going great.
This episode has been fantastic so far.
Honestly, I gotta say, there hasn't been one blunder the entire time.
0 blunders in 0 minutes.
I mean, we're 0 minutes. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Mhm.
I think they were probably about to hit the 1 minute mark, though.
I think we actually just hit it.
You know what that means?
Blunderless party?
Yeah!
We fucking did it!
Another first on the Fancy Lad podcast, hitting
God.
1 minute without hitting one blunder whatsoever.
It's about Gouda damn time.
It's about Gouda time.
It's about Gouda. Speaking of Gouda, hell of a cheese dip. Yummy.
Okay, first of all, are you really shooting for that to be a sponsor? Because
Okay.
I can't think, there's probably not one episode that goes by where you don't mention hell of a good cheese dip.
Well, it's just so good. It is really a hell of a good cheese dip. And I would implore you and the listeners to go try some.
Okay, are they paying you and you're just not telling me because you want to keep 100% of the profit that you get from it and don't want to split the royalties?
That is absolutely absurd that you would even think that. Hell of a Good Cheese Dip Incorporated hit me up, said they wanted to sponsor the podcast. I said, okay, I'll do it. Here's the deal. We don't tell Bigzo. You pay me only in spoiled French onion and cheese dip. They said, oh, that's actually a pretty good deal on our end. We're definitely down to do that. I said, wait. No, listen, I'll make it even better. Please,
Okay.
just hear me out.
Yep.
I'll take super expired French onion dip
Oh.
and toxic cheese dip. So they gave me the toxic cheese dip.
Yep.
And the expired.
And
Super
by,
expired.
And by toxic,
Mhm.
let me just get this straight. You mean that it's literally going to kill you if you ingest it?
It's radioactive.
Okay.
So I started ingesting it, and now I have sort of started to gain these superpowers.
So it's
I guess some would call them superpowers.
yeah, it's a dangerous good.
It's a dangerous good.
Yeah.
Super cheese dip related powers. And
Super cheese dip related powers. And these powers are exactly what?
what are the powers?
Yeah, what are the powers that the radioactive cheese dip has given you?
Well, it's like, are you familiar with the comic Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the comic. I'm also familiar with the fucking huge movie franchise directed by Sam Raimi.
Okay, yeah, like is it Bruce Campbell?
Exactly.
Your homie.
Yeah. The good homie.
So much like Spider-Man can shoot webs from his wrists.
Mhm.
Well,
When you throw out the metal horns.
Yep, exactly.
You need to throw out those fucking
You
metal
throw out
horns.
the horns.
Like you're at a fucking Ozzy Osbourne concert.
It's like, and you're like, yeah. So
was
it's like
was that Crazy Train?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Aye.
Yes, yes.
Now that's good.
Yes.
Right. So, so you throw out the horns,
Mhm.
and instead of web coming out of my wrist, I throw out the horns, and hell of a cheese dip sprays out of my ass.
Interesting.
And then, see, that's closer to an actual spider because they spray webs out of their buttocks.
Yeah, and I was actually that's making a lot more sense because I was actually
Dollars and cents.
I was gonna ask you before we even started the podcast why you were wearing assless chaps in the Fancy Lad studio.
Right. Yeah. Well, now you know.
Now I know.
Like
Because-
that hell of a good dip, spray free.
If the chaps weren't assless,
Mhm.
you're gonna have a very messy pair of pants every time you throw up the horns. And I know you just got back from a Metallica concert.
Listen, if the chaps ain't assless, the ass ain't gonna be chaptless,
You know, I can't argue with that logic.
right? And who could?
I know. Could you? I mean, I happen to have a bag of chips right here. Could you maybe, if I open it up, just kind of give me a
Throw
little,
up the horns.
throw up the horns and just give a little spray inside, because I don't want to pay for this hell of a good dip either. I want some of that free product.
Yeah, sure. Well, what temp you thinking?
Room temp,
Okay.
obviously, dude.
All right, cool. All right. Let me just chill out for a
All right.
second.
All right.
All right, we're
I got
at
the bag.
room temp.
Throw up the horns, dude. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's getting a lot. Oh dude, it's overflowing. Stop. Oh my god, that's a fucking lot. Fucking hell of a good cheese dip. But
Yeah, I'm
hold on,
sorry.
Let me try one.
It's very good, right?
Oh. Oh
Good.
my god, that's hell of a good.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. I'm just looking at my leg here. I think I accidentally did like the Mahala thing, like surfs up. And I think I accidentally just sprayed diarrhea all on your chips, bro.
So hell of a good cheese dip doesn't come out in natural brown color?
No, well, not this flavor. No.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's my bad. I'm sorry. But you said it was good?
It tasted really good at first.
Well, that probably has something to do with all the hell of a good cheese dip I've been eating.
It kind of left a bad aftertaste though.
That makes sense. Well, just whatever you do, make sure not to get that dip anywhere near your eyes.
All right. I wish I didn't just ruin this bag of restaurant-style Tostitos.
Oh, man, you gotta love the restaurant style.
I know.
What is it? Okay, why is it that the restaurant style is so much crispier and just has, like, the perfect amount of salt on it? What is it with the home style that, like, homes don't deserve that?
I thought the restaurant style was just the bigger chip.
Just bigger? I feel like it has a lighter amount of salt on it. We'll have to look into this.
Yeah, we're going to have to look into this.
We're really going to have to look into this.
Hopefully the viewers at home can shed some insight into this.
That would be super helpful.
I know that we love our food south of the border.
Right.
Every time we want to get a good quesadilla,
Mm-hmm.
we hop on a plane.
Yep.
We go to Mexico.
Right.
We go south of the border.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yep. But I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. Do they even have burritos across the pond over there in Europe? In England, rather?
Burritos in Europe.
In England.
In England.
Yeah. It's a country in Europe.
Interesting. And do they have burritos?
Yeah.
That's a really good question, actually.
You've been.
I have been, but I never got a burrito while I was there.
That's what I'm saying.
Out of all the times I've been there,
That's what I'm saying.
never got a burrito. Now, does that mean there aren't any burritos? Maybe.
Having never been there, I
Mhm.
can't really say myself.
Damn it. Well, can you think of anyone that maybe would know about? I mean, obviously, we could have asked Jesse James.
We could have.
We have all these years of being friends with him, and we never even asked him
But
this.
then he fucking moved to New Zealand.
That's true. So all he can tell us about is Kiwis.
Yeah. And Richie Jackson.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I'm surprised, being
Mhm.
that you are the literal British scientist
Right, I am the
Of-
Britland scientist.
of the podcast.
Right, that's true. That does fall under my responsibilities.
Yeah.
I just never thought to look into the percentage of burrito consumption in the UK. And again, that's on me. That's my bad.
That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that it's
Okay,
up
good.
to you to sort of remedy this situation.
That probably is my responsibility, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what it's going to take, but I think that, maybe we should take a short break and try to wrangle up a guest here on the podcast. And I don't know who it's going to be, but I
Right.
feel like you should at least think of someone who might be, in the vicinity of the UK.
Okay, I think I could do that.
You
And
think, you think you can handle that?
I think I might be able to handle that. And you know what? I'll do you one better. Whether or not we decide to bring up burritos to them again later or not, who's to say?
It's a touchy subject to
It's a
bring up.
touchy subject, so if we don't end up bringing it up,
Yeah,
just write it off.
You know what we should do? We should just get whoever we get on the podcast.
Mhm.
We should just get them there as just butter them up as like a one-time guest
Oh, yeah, gotta butter them.
and just work up to it and
Right.
just don't even mention the burrito.
We don't have to bring up the burrito.
Don't ask him about the burrito.
If it comes up organically,
That's fine.
that's different.
That's fine.
Then
But
it'd be
don't-
weird not to bring it up.
Yeah, but don't force it.
We're not going to
Okay.
force it.
We'll have him on as a guest
Mhm.
or whoever it is.
Right.
And we will just shoot the shit with
Mhm.
him or whoever it is
Or whoever.
about skateboarding.
Yep.
And then the next time they're on the podcast,
Mhm.
we'll talk to them about the burrito.
Next time they're on the podcast, we'll say, hey, Chris, listen. Or whoever.
Yeah, or whoever
Or
it may be. Okay?
Listen. Tell it what's the sitch with burritos over there, mate.
Mhm. Mate.
Mate.
That's good. Butter them up.
Yeah, and then when we're done, we'll say, cheers.
You're right.
You know? It's about, it's about the manners. It's about being polite.
Because Cheers is a Boston bar
Yeah, sometimes you want to go.
where everybody knows Fraser Crane's name.
Mm-hmm. It's Fraser Crane.
Yeah, we all know that.
I know, that was such a short series
Which one?
where they did the reboot where they said, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows Fraser Crane's name.
Yep.
And they said, hi, I'm Fraser Crane. And they go, well,
We already know.
that's it.
And
Show's over.
roll credits.
Yep.
If we do get Chris Pullman on the podcast,
Oh, you were thinking Chris Pullman?
oh no, not at all.
Uh-oh.
But I was saying, whoever we get on the podcast,
Mhm.
we should definitely ask them about maybe Independence Day,
Yep.
Lost Highway,
Uh-huh.
A League of Their Own, Lake Placid.
Oh, dude, Oliver Platt.
Exactly.
My
Yell,
dude.
exit, Oliver Platt.
Hell yeah. These are all really good ideas.
Thank you.
And I think I got a good idea too. It's like, why don't we go grab some Clown Shoes brand beer?
Yeah.
And then when we come back, we can hash this all out with Chris Pullman or whoever.
Or whoever we
whoever
find
it
from
is.
the UK.
Whoever.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be Chris Pullman.
It doesn't
honestly.
have to be.
No.
But it might be.
It definitely might be.
It definitely, positively, absolutely might be.
He's a definite candidate of a skater
Mm-hmm. In the UK.
in the UK.
May or may not know a thing or two about burritos.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back with our fresh Clown Shoes brand beer.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
All right. See you then.
Yeah.
Life as a southern sheriff can be pretty taxing. Taxing on the mind, taxing on the body, and taxing on the soul. That's why when I'm feeling my most decaffeinated and dehydrated, I reach for a mocha sombrero. Mocha sombrero. A Mexican-style chocolate stout with additions of coffee and vanilla. Alright, no, I'm trying to do the script here. Alright, if you're just gonna keep doing that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, it's got coffee. It's got coffee and it's got vanilla. I don't care if you're doing the back. It's got coffee and vanilla, and it's a stout recipe. And the malt flavors, the sweet vanilla. Jesus, oh my God. This is very distracting. Very distracting. If you want to know more about Mocha Sombrero from Clown Shoes Beer, why don't you go ahead and visit clownshoesbeer.com. Go on now, get it.
Yeah.
And we are back.
Oh, man, we are back. And, oh, man, that was yet again a fantastic break.
It's just we're hitting 100 over here.
With the breaks, especially.
Maybe even 1,000.
Oh, man. Has anyone ever done that?
I don't even know what that's in reference to.
I don't know, baseball maybe? Batting?
Yards in baseball?
I don't know.
I'm not a sportsman, as I've said before.
Yeah, you
But
have
we're-
said that.
But we are batting 1,000 over here,
Mhm.
regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But you were going to say?
I was going to say I was happy to get this Clown Shoes brand beer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Man, you know it is.
What kind is that?
Mocha Sombrero?
Mocha Sombrero, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites. One
Oh,
of my
yeah.
all-time favorites.
Fantastic.
Well, without further ado, let me
Mhm.
just introduce our very special guest here,
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Chris Pulman.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing great.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Doing very well.
It's good to have someone over the pond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's strange. You guys are in Surrey right now. That's really odd.
Yeah.
You're not. I am.
Yeah, it's beautiful sunny skies out here.
Yeah.
Really?
Sunny blue skies.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for showing up. It's good to see you in your patented shirt there.
Well, you guys taking bets on I never take this shirt off, right? I guess.
Well, we were taking bets to see if we could get you to take it off by the end of the podcast.
Oh, shit. Oh, it wouldn't be pretty.
Have you thought about just patented that colorway and just selling 100 of them? So you have all the Chris Pulman imposters out there?
Do you think there are any? I don't.
Not yet.
Oh, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Oh, come on.
I know. With a style like yours, it can't be imitated, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, for our viewers at home, you know, I was doing a lot of research on you, and I want to give them your body of work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Live from Antarctica,
Mm-hmm.
Independence Day,
Mm-hmm.
Spaceballs,
Mm-hmm.
Lost Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Independence Day was one of my best, I think.
Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it like working with Will Smith in that one, where you played the president?
It was sick. It was, I just knew he had my back there, you know? I knew it was just going to pan out fine. I was much more relaxed than I looked in the film. I think deep down, the core of me knew Will would pull us through, you know? So
Yeah.
Mm.
Now I'm thinking about it, it's weird that they had an Englishman play an American president. But
I know.
I guess Daniel Day-Lewis can do it, so anybody can do it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we can do that.
Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, no. Enough about Bill Pullman. That was a joke. You get that one a lot with the Bill Pullman?
Oh.
No?
Or Philip Pullman, or the author. None of that. I don't know what I get. I got Chip Van Ham once, but that was a long time ago.
Chip Van Ham. That name sounds familiar.
He wrote for ATM a long time back.
ATM Click?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, back when Mike was there and everybody, Mike Manzuri and everybody.
And John West skated for the team?
John West, maybe John Minor. John was on the team.
John West was on the team. I remember because of the 4-in-1 ATM Industries section.
Okay.
And he skated that same curved flat bar that he loved to skate in the Art Bars video.
Mm.
I like John West a lot. So obviously I've never met John West, but from Duty Now for the Future, I used to watch that all the time.
That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I used to love that. Like
the Sweet Jane part.
Yeah, so good. And he has that hell slam where he like cracks his neck between two benches, like hangs up between. Oh my god. Yeah.
And then he has that line, skating in the rain.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I love that. That was
skating in the rain with the handrail at the end of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. The Live from Antarctica part, I guess I'll start there because that's the first time I ever saw you.
Mm-hmm. That was right after we really even first heard of Heroin Skateboards.
Right, because of the Colin Fisk.
The Fisk.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Okay.
Did you ever skate with Colin Fisk when he went over to the pond there?
Yeah, I did. We went on a little tour. We did we had a thing called the Big Push. We had the magazines did a tour where you'd like a team. It was hardware companies at start, and then they figured out it'd be much more cost effective to get footwear companies. But the first time around, they had hardware companies. So like a bunch of us jumped in a van and did like a week tour around the UK and had to film like an edit. And Foz stumped up the cash to fly Fisk over, and it was sick. Yeah, we skated for like a week. He was not that weird. It was amazing. You know, it was really
yeah.
It was really cool. I like, obviously I'd seen Colin in I guess he was in PJ Ladd's first in the Coliseum videos, right? And then so I'd seen Colin. Yeah, I was like, this guy's sick. So when Foz was like, hey, this guy's going to be around doing stuff with us, I'm like, that's really rad, you know. So he looked really weird and awkward, and I like people like that. So I'm sure he's weird and awkward in real life as well, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on who you ask. I mean,
yeah, if you ask him, he's the only normal one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I mean, I don't think he's as weird as people make him out to be.
He's not as weird as he seems to be when you just see all the footage of him acting extremely weird, you know? Because he's not always like that.
His reputation, I think, is much weirder than he actually is.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But he is weird.
Yeah, he's strange, but I like that. Strange is good. Otherwise, you're just normal, aren't you? And normal's not good. So
Right.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I get the sense he's kind of awkward on purpose, and I'm kind of a little bit like that myself. So I think it's good to challenge people.
Yeah. Probably when people meet someone new too, you have that nervous energy.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that, like, especially going on a trip like that, where you're just on, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just merely speculating.
Yeah.
I had to guess.
It was fun. He brought this crazy longboard he rode the whole time, and he just shredded it. And we had a good week, and it was he just jumped in with a bunch of us, and he just got on with it, and it was really cool. It fitted in like straight away. He's one of them guys who just fitted into the group of guys we had like immediately, and it was really sick to have him along, you know.
Yeah. Are you so the Baghead crew that you skate with? They're from like the Sheffield area.
Yeah, they're in Sheffield, which is it's quite a distance from here. It's like 3.5 hours away from here. So
you make the commute every weekend just to film with the boys?
I was going up a lot for a while. I was going up once every couple of weeks. I haven't been up for a little while now because of the lockdown and weather and just bits and bobs. Like I was kind of injured for a minute, like hurt, like just had sore arthritic toes or something for a minute. So we need to get back on that schedule. We've kind of missed that for a little while now. So, but for a while I was going up really regularly, and there's a good scene up there. There's a really good crew of guys. I get to skate with Dead Dave. That's a dream.
Yeah, he's one of my new favorites.
Oh yeah. Instant classic. That guy.
Definitely my favorite part in the Earth Goblin video.
Yeah. Dead Dave could do a demo in a phone box. Do you know what I mean? He's like, seriously, you could put him anywhere. He could do it. He could just skate literally anything, you know?
Yeah.
So he's really interesting. But he's one of those people that it's really good if you put him in front of people. You know, like some people, like they look great on video, but then when you actually see them in real life, it's like next level. Like they blow you away in real life, you know? So
yeah.
Kind of the kind of person I'd much rather take on a tour than see in a video. You know, I'd much rather take him to every town in Britain or everywhere and say, "Hey, look, check this guy out. He blow you away." You know, so
yeah, I feel that way about Steven Ostrowski, who just started Glue Skateboards with Cher and Leo there. But yeah, seeing him skate in real life is, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just much more amazing than the footage. I don't know why it doesn't translate through enough. I don't know. Something about it. But
a lot of people like that. I think I don't know, it always goes a long way. You know, you can, and especially these days where everybody's so available online in videos and stuff. And then it's actually really special generally to see someone in the flesh. Do you know what I mean? These days it's more so almost in a different way than the old, you know, touring around like America on a tomato tour with you know, a van full of dudes. You know, Jamie fully understood the importance of putting someone right in front of someone, and that, you know, a kid seeing Cole do a tray flip would never forget that for the rest of his life. Whereas on a video, it would kind of just be gone, you know. So that in-person kind of skateboarding, I think, goes a long way, you know. But Dead Dave is definitely one of these guys. You put him in front of people, they'll just never forget it, you know. So
it's true. I saw Chris Cole do a tray flip at the Circa demo in Shrewsbury, and I'm never gonna forget it. Actually, he did a tray flip.
Andover?
He did. No, it wasn't Andover because this was more toward my neck of the woods. Maybe they did two tours.
Oh, that was like,
I mean, maybe they hit
or
two
something.
spots.
But anyways,
it was Chris Cole, Mark Appleyard, Colt Cannon. And there might have been like one other dude. Oh, Caswell Berry. How'd I almost forget? Yeah. But he was wearing the Bad to the Bone boxers at the demo from the Tilt Mode video. And I was like, holy shit, he's got the same underwear as in the video. I was blown away.
Amazing.
But I was gonna say it's the opposite for when people see me skate. They see me, and then they saw the video, and they said, "Wait a minute,
This guy changes underwear?
yeah." I thought this guy was supposed to be moderately good.
I get this weird thing about like when you see someone in kind of in real life compared to how you see them in a video, because the video is just trick, and it's all it's choreographed in a way. You know, you decide on, even a line is choreographed. I'm going to do 3 tricks in a row, you know,
Right.
and everyone knows what's going to happen. But you go to a skate park and you skate around. It's almost like a different kind of skateboarding, you know. So there's a big difference between those two things, I think. So like I don't think I look in if I film a part, it doesn't look like me skateboarding to me. It just looks like me doing tricks on a tape.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when I see something more candid, like someone's filmed something, you know, on a phone at me at a skate park just cruising around, that looks more like me skateboarding. You know, actually smiling sometimes as well, you know. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
more authentic to have that kind of footage than the stuff that you need to put together to make a section. So one feels authentic and one feels a little choreographed, and
It's very well curated, you know.
yeah.
So you don't get those raw bits in there typically.
But they're the bits that kind of make it. You know,
I know. That's why I kind of like your bonus part almost a little better than your actual part in the live from Antarctica video.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Something about it.
Sketchy.
Just got a little more flavor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there was maybe a little bit. I was pretty slightly more desperate time as well, and a lot of that footage probably looks a little bit more desperate because I was. I think I was really trying to work again at that point, and well, not work, but really trying to put the guts of a section together. You know, I mean, like get out there and film lines and try and do different stuff and have a broader range of tricks and things. But I don't know how considered it was putting that part together. I wasted a lot of time, you know, doing certain things, and then I got a chance to just go out and film and just put, I don't know, like a lot of tricks together. So I don't know.
Yeah, at that time you're probably. I mean, we tried to stray away from this originally when we started the company, but at the time you were probably thinking of the part as having a sort of formula. This is what Foss told me too. This is why he, like, I don't know, didn't really like the parts that Fisk was sending him when we started the company, but he said he thought that there needed to be a formula of, you know, this amount of lines, this amount of hammers, this amount of variation, you know,
Yeah.
to a part. So it's a very traditional way of thinking, but it's probably where you were thinking when you were filming that part.
I think I did. I was around, you know, a lot of the people, some of the people I filmed with, and I was working at Slam City Skates at the time. So I was right in the middle of seeing the Blueprint team put in their videos together and putting things together in a really professional way where everybody was out, you know, they were filming a lot and they were putting parts together in a very traditional way because they were trying to do things to a really high standard, you know, and obviously not copying a previous model, but the actual standard of the skateboard and putting the section together was very much in a professional way. Obviously, Dan McGee had his own take on the visuals and the music and everything else, but they were trying to do things professionally. And so I was around that a lot. I could see, I understood what it took to put a part together, but I also am very aware of my level of skill on a skateboard. So I don't have, you know, I can't follow that formula the way that some guys can, you know. So there's got to be X amount of dicking around in there to kind of make it work, you know, like mostly junk stuff. So
what really spoke to me was I watched your like That Guy by like Indie Trucks or something. It was kind of like almost like a documentary about you.
Yeah, we did that with the distributor over here, and they were trying out. That was Alan Glass actually, who filmed a lot of and edited Life from Antarctica as well. He worked there as the team manager and at the distributor here for Indie. And we thought that might be good because we had a bit of history and there's quite a lot of cool things we could talk about. So, it was really good fun doing that. I got really lucky doing that because I don't think they did it again.
Yeah. It was kind of like a one-off.
Yeah, it's a shame because they were obviously I think it was a good, because Alan knew me so well, we could put that together as a trial to see, because obviously he knew the history. It didn't take a lot of detective work to know we could put something together,
Mm-hmm.
And I was quite eager to do it because it was good fun, So it's the kind of thing that would have translated really well if they'd then gone off and done something with Paul Shire or with Nick Jensen or with Danny Wainwright or other,
the other goats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the actual, like those guys who had real, what I would consider like actual professional skateboarding careers where they got paid and everything, So, but those guys all had their own stories that haven't been told to that depth, and they're probably far more interesting than mine.
Yeah. How long were you pro for?
Let me think. When did we do that? From 2001, I think, to I tried to retire in like 2005.
You weren't trying to milk it?
No, I was trying to do the opposite of milking it. I was trying to get the hell out. Trying to get the hell out of there. No, I wasn't. It wasn't anything like that. It was because I started working at Black Box. I was running Black Box UK here, so riding for vans and being pro for Heroin Skateboards was kind of a little bit jarred a little bit with selling fallen shoes and pushing zero skateboards, So
right.
Didn't really go.
Conflict of interest. It's funny, this season of the podcast, I feel like the only guests that we've had besides obviously, this isn't true, but all the guests have either ridden for zero or heroin.
Yeah, that's true.
So
actually, it's pretty much true.
It's funny you mention.
Yeah, you're gonna have more. I don't know if I can tell you any Black Box stories.
You probably could,
because we had Dane Berman on.
Just recently nominated for Skater of the Year.
Was he?
Oh yeah.
I texted Michael Burnett and I said, why don't you just nominate Matt Tomasello as a lark?
Mm-hmm.
And he did not reply to my text.
Of course he didn't. And I went straight to the tees when I saw them post them. I said, let's see. And it was only Brendan Turner who, granted,
that
switch hard flip. Yep.
Down Wallenberg.
It was crazy.
That was it.
I thought I misread the caption when it said it was Brendan Turner. The first time I saw it, I was like, damn, that looked like
Matt Tomasello?
No, the Brendan Turner. The first time I read the caption on when I saw the switch hard flip.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
I was like, that can't be Brendan Turner.
Oh, I see.
I was like, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll know that switch hard flip anywhere.
Yeah, so
down Carlsbad, down New Wallenberg.
I thought they were just saying that it looked like Brendan Turner's hard flip or switch hard flip.
I got you.
Anyhow, this isn't the Brendan Turner podcast.
Did they nominate Chris Pulman for the SOTY is what I want to know.
Hell no.
It's bullshit.
What?
It's bullshit.
But you made a comeback into skateboarding like short pants. Like what's something else that people love?
That came back?
Yeah.
Vinyl records.
Oh, yeah. You're like the vinyl records of skateboarding.
Oh, man. I'm like the wax roll that they used to use back in Victorian times or whatever, skateboarding that.
Oh, we weren't trying to say you're old.
No. I mean, we skate with a couple of dudes who are older than you or your same exact age.
Yeah, I'm 46, so I just literally turned 46 last weekend. So
that's nothing.
It's nothing.
It doesn't feel that bad at all. It doesn't even feel that old. It feels old, but it doesn't feel like exceptionally old for skateboarding these days. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, you saw Tony Hawk do the 900 at 50.
And I always said, with my low impact skating, I'll be able to skate flat ground for probably a long time.
That was my plan. I don't know if it's panning out though. I was always kind of cautious with skateboarding. Like I didn't think I had the skill to be. I'd love, I like to skate a flat ball or a round ball or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have the skill even then to take it to a handrail or anything super gnarly. So I was always kind of cautious with skateboarding. With the in the knowledge that I wanted to skate for a long time, hopefully,
Yeah.
if I was passionate about it. So I've kind of done okay with that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I made too much of a concession. Maybe I could have done more with it, but probably would have I didn't have the skill. I probably would have like just completely murdered myself and then like put myself out of action forever, So
You would have got broke off, as they say.
I would have got broke off. Like I would have just, had one of those horrific injuries and just been, done, So I'm glad that didn't.
What I was going to say about that guy that actually spoke to me, I wasn't saying the whole thing in general. I was saying a very specific point where you're talking about starting heroin and you're talking about being on heroin in the beginning days and talking about the passion sort of overriding the skill, but also that it's not dumbing down the skating, because that's a very important aspect that I think about Fancy Lad, where people are always like, yeah, like, oh yeah, they're not as like good as the other guys, so they're like doing this stuff, but it's completely valid in a less dangerous way.
Yeah, of course. Look at the thing with skateboarding is it can be technically crazy or it can be super dynamic, but the key thing with skateboarding is being creative. If you can do something that nobody's ever done before, and that's still possible with a skateboard, that is got to be the most important thing, So I'd love to be, technically able like Shane O'Neill, or super gnarly like some other guy, or even have a better style like some other guy. But if you can, I think if you're creative in skateboarding, then you've made. I think that's one of the most valid contributions to skateboarding. Like. It's actually you contributed to it by creating something that's never been done, and that could be, it could be I don't know, a crack gnarly leg flip, or it could be it could be anything. But like someone like Benton, like for Stoop Benton, he's one of the most creative skaters out there. Like I can just watch that guy because I can see how he puts things together. So.
Wow, that is high praise for John Benton.
I was just going to say, I just want to be clear. You're talking about
the Fancy Lad team rider, new rider, John Benton.
And then I heard you yell exit his Instagram handle at
FU Stoop. Yep.
Is it FU Stoop? Okay, so
Oh no, it's a lot of people say Foo Stoop, but it's actually because part of the FU crew.
Yeah, we cleared this up on the last episode of the podcast. So that's just a current.
You have to bear with me. I know nothing about skateboarding. I was off Instagram for a year or so, and I don't know anybody, and I don't remember anything. But
back to the FU Stoop. I want to hear your high praise.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to want to hear it. He gets very down on himself. This is going to uplift him. Okay?
Yeah,
This is going to bring him. I know you're all about the mental health, so this is going to
help him.
He's going to be riding this for at least a week or so.
But look, what he's doing is he's creative. He sees skateboarding and he sees spots in a totally different way to most people. The way I approached skateboarding was, I know I didn't have the skill to do the same tricks as everybody else. So when I went to a spot, I had to find a unique way of skating. I had to find my skill, if I had a skill, was skating something wrong, as far as everybody else was concerned,
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with him. He's putting things together in a totally different way. And can I just do this justice, really? He just has a different eye and a different approach. And yeah, just a totally different take on it, really. But there's a lot, a lot of it is still what, every average skateboarder would consider legit. There's a lot of like legit stuff in there, which isn't weird or wacky or crazy. But also there's a lot of really like stuff that's stuff that would take you hours to do. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff I couldn't even do, like if I give me all day, I couldn't do some of that stuff. So, but the vision is the most important thing in skate. Vision, like I said, the passion and that creativity is, passion is greater than the skill. Is better than skill. So he's got both, but in a different direction, which I think is much more interesting than a lot of people.
It's what we founded the entire ethos of the company on, really. And I almost think of it as a little bit of not a cheat code because it doesn't make things easier, but an alternative skateboarding where it's just equal amount of effort, but in a different avenue. Like it branches out into a different way.
Yeah.
And yeah, Zacher, when you started talking about how he was considered a creative skater when he was skating for the company on the early days, he was saying that's why he was labeled a creative skater, because he couldn't like ollie down like a loading dock or something like that. So he would do like an early grab, like layback. And because he couldn't do the actual legit thing and had to find another way to do it, then he was labeled, he became like the creative skater of the crew.
Yeah.
So he always thought it was something that wasn't as good, but he's going to settle for it. But I think that stuff is more interesting because it's actually the ingenuity behind it.
Yeah, I think both things are equally valid. It's part of skateboarding, and they're both things are valid. Technical ability is valid.
Yeah,
creativity is valid. If you've got both, then wow, that's the next level. You know what I mean?
Right.
But very few people have both.
Yeah,
You know?
and I used to wait for that, like in every video I would watch, because I would watch every video that came out, and then it's like I'd watch even videos I didn't even like let's say, I think just what pops into my head is the Time to Shine Transworld video.
Okay.
Which I don't really care for, but then in the Friends section, Danny Gonzalez has that clip where he rides up the wall onto the ceiling. Probably the only time maybe it's been done like once or twice since then. But the double wall ride to vertical.
In Escondido, it's in Escondido, I think that. I went there one time, a long time back. I think that's what it is. I was just talking to Foz about it, finally. Yeah, and he gets up onto the ceiling out of that thing, and that's crazy to do that.
That's what I'm talking about, where creativity and skill come together.
That's definitely an angle. I just thought of someone else, but I kind of like you said about watching videos, like you just watch a video. I would watch 4-on-1 of all things, and I'd be like, every time I saw a 4-on-1, somebody would do a trick in that which I'd never seen. You know, I'd wait for that one trick that'd be in there.
Exactly.
So there'd be like the ones I remember. This is really weird, but there are two that I remember. They're kind of random in their way, but one was Jerry Fowler doing a kickflip feeble on a round bar. I was like waiting for someone to do that. Yeah. And he did that in a 4-on-1. It was inside a warehouse, I think, on a round bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one like was Justin Reynolds did like a front on a yellow flat bar, did like a front board and popped off to fakie manual off the pavement. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I've never seen anybody do anything like that. You know, and they were just two small things which stick in my head. But there were lots of things like that, and you'd see for the first time, and that was the one thing in all those 4-on-1s with all those tours and demos and bullshit trick tips, but to see someone do something for the first time, that kept me watching those things for years, you know. Yeah,
and those are the tricks that I think are really end up furthering the game, as I call it. Yeah, when PJ Ladd did a kickflip feeble on the Skater Island rail, even though it was a skate park. That blew me away the first time I saw it. Yeah. I don't know, I can't remember which one I remember seeing first, that or the Jerry Fowler one. I remember the Jerry Fowler one.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, I think it might have even been in a Chaos section or something, but...
Yeah, it was something like that. I'm pretty sure it was in a warehouse, like probably some Zorlak warehouse or somewhere.
Yeah. But it's a different time in skateboarding now than when you quit. Why'd you quit exactly? I
think I was done with it. And I don't know. I had a real tough time with being in the public eye a little bit. Obviously, the kind of way I skated wasn't super gnarly. It didn't feel like a lot of pressure. Just couldn't justify it to myself. I think just weird. Because I didn't start skateboarding thinking I was going to be sponsored even. You know, and there was a point came where I just was passionate about skateboarding, and I thought, well, I could actually get some free stuff here if I just put the work in, and then I might have some nice photographs and video parts to look back on one day, you know. Mm-hmm. And that kind of went on, and then Foz started Heroin, and the opportunity to write for that came along after everything else. So, and then that turned into being a professional skateboarder for Heroin, because Foz needed a pro, and it kind of made sense.
And you happen to have the best no comply in the game, so he said, "You're pro."
I don't know about that, but
okay. Well,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, who else do you? The only other person. I mean, they mentioned this in that guy video, but the only other person that people ever mention is Ray Barbie. So you got two people. You got top two. You're in the top two.
Dude, you got Ray. You got Hensley stuff at the start of Shack Me Not. We just skating the street doing no complies, and then the absolute best no comply is probably Mike Russick. So, you know what I mean? Mike's when he no comply. There's a still from a Slack magazine, and it's shot, and it's just Mike's the winner on that. So,
when I was growing up, I never even tried the trick because I was, at the time it was a very taboo trick because your foot's touching the lava.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the name of the game was so your feet don't touch the lava.
Hot lava.
You know? But then I saw the Legends section of the Transworld video. God, was it Modus Operandi? Where Ray Barbie does that no comply over the barrel off of the stage?
Okay, yeah. That was after that.
I think that's in Sight Unseen.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Sight Unseen. So it was the Legends section in that, and I was like, damn, that is a legit trick. If you do it like that...
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of times you see people do no complies, and they're not complies, really, is what they are. But, yeah, if you do it properly, man, it can look good. And, hey, I'm one of those guys that I can't really do a good no comply. Maybe no comply 180 or like a whaley flip, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But not a straight up no comply. I've never been able to get it to, like, lift properly, you know?
And people always call all of my fling tricks no complies, but it's funny. The actual only no comply trick I can do is a no comply 360. I can't do any other one. Can't do 180. Can't do straight one.
Backside or front side?
Front side.
Okay.
Backside's incredibly hard. I don't know
Backside
how people even step off backside. I fall when I try to step off backside on a no comply.
I'm really terrible at them. So,
but the Shackle Me Not video with the Hensley part, you know what's funny is when I was growing up, I started doing kickflip half flips, and that trick just came back because of Ben Cadeau and in the Supreme videos. But at the time, I was in high school, and I was like, I invented a new trick, kickflip half flip. I invented it, and then I saw the Matt Hensley Shackle Me Not part, and I was like, damn it, this guy did it like 15 years before me.
Yeah.
The first one I saw was Jim Thiebaud in Speed Freaks. He does one. That was the first time I saw it. That's where I got it from, that half flip.
I don't even know if I've seen that video, actually.
Yeah, you must have seen Speed Freaks. It's the best. The Speed Wheels video. Yeah, there's so many parts in that. It's crazy. There's blender footage. There's Todd Swank has a section. Just everybody has a section in that thing. There are like 3 million sections in it. So
I don't think I've ever seen any Todd Swank footage, now that you mention it.
Yeah, you need to see the Speed Freaks is important. Like me and Foz talk about that all the time. Everybody's section would come up, and there was a subtitle at the bottom that showed you exactly what wheel they rode. Like it would have, 60 mil Hosoi rockets, 97A or whatever the rider was, and there was so many guys, and that starts up with Dressen, and it ends with Valley, and there's loads of Dinosaur Jr. in it, and there must be like 40 or 50 sections, and it's really long. That's really good. Speed Freaks is one of my favorite videos. It's super important to me, that video.
Call me crazy. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, you've got to see Speed Freaks. It's
insane.
Yeah.
There's endless stuff in there.
Because I love skate videos.
Yeah, Tom Knox does the first kickflip wall ride from flat I saw in that. Like, he's just skating some curbs, and he's skating Visalia. Where do he live? I can't remember where he lived. Anyway, he does a kickflip wall ride from flat in that. Like, there are endless things in that. There's Blender skating like some stuff with Steve Clark skating Sadlands. There's a bunch of really good stuff in that video. It's super long, and there's like 1 million sections. Like there's a whole section of Z Boys, like Jim Acosta and Butch Sturbins. There's Brian Brannan's in it. Like everybody's in that thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, so I got to ask, what other videos inspired you when you were coming up?
When I was young, like when I was young or when I was coming up more?
Yeah, let's say a little bit of both.
Okay, so the no comply thing, it comes from watching Public Domain for the first time. And I got that thing in the post from Slam. I was living in Wales, which is like the Wild West as far as Britain's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in Cardiff? Or you're in Swansea?
Yeah, that's it. Near Swansea, like that.
Oh,
yeah.
my aunt lives in Swansea.
Where Skin Phillips is from.
Oh.
So, out that way. So, and I got Public Domain. It came in the post like months after it had come out. I had never seen it. Obviously, there was no YouTube or anything.
How much was it at the time? Was it like $50? Because skate videos were so.
Like $30 or $40, I guess. It would have been
Jesus Christ.
That's what I heard. Like the Plan B video when it came out was like, crazy amount of money.
Yeah, they were super expensive, those things. So, and I saw that video the first time, that section with Ray Barbie and Steve Size and Eric Sanderson, Chet Thomas, that Rubber Boy section. And I went out that evening after school, and I made myself learn a 180 comply from watching that video. I was like, not just to kick it around, but to jump and catch it and land on it, and to do it clean and to make myself do that. And that was the first trick I ever made myself do, ever taught myself to do. I skated on my own a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was the very first trick, which I had nobody to show me how to do it. It literally came from a video. I kind of watched it over and over, memorized it, went out and made myself learn it. And I think that's a big key of why it's an important part of my skateboarding, because I taught it to myself. It was the first trick I remember teaching myself. And I think it stuck from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so that Public Domain was super important for that. Then, other videos like Hocus Pocus, I went to the premiere of that. We had the premiere. That blew my mind. I just screamed for an hour when that was on. Do you know what I mean? We were in an auditorium and we just screamed. It was just insane. Everything in that was insane to me.
Yeah. Well, that's like everything happening for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, the name of the game is blowing people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, that video, I don't know. Was it easier back then when with it being the skateboard history being so fresh, or was it just as hard?
I don't know. It was just really, we were riding boards with fishtails and then trying to learn tray flips on the things. And it's just like you're riding this 10-inch board that's super heavy and it's a vert board, and
yeah,
it wasn't hard. Your board was getting trashed from trying to do that stuff.
Were you a fan of the video days then when Jason Lee said, you know what, you can tray flip on a fishboard?
Yeah, I saw video days a little. I was I don't know where I was. I think I saw that about 3 months or so after it came out. So I saw that a little late. And that was something I saw and took in. But then there was something that I appreciated much more later on. And I still, now the video days to me is like Gonza section video days is that is all of skateboarding to me. It has inventiveness. It has obviously amazing skill level, good style, just freestyling around, dragging his hand on the floor.
Yeah, it's that spontaneity of just the cruisiness mixed in with him, skating that Muska kinked rail. Obviously, it's the Gons kinked rail, but the one from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Yeah, school level. I'm sure you played a lot of that game.
But that Gonza's Pine video day, I watch that now before I go skating.
Yeah.
I've been watching that since when did it come out? 1991.
Yeah. My favorite PAL video that kind of gets slept on is PAL Propaganda. No one ever mentions that video.
Who's Propaganda? That's got like. Yeah.
It's still got it's got like Lance Conklin and Ray Barbie and Salma Nagaz even in it, and Colin McKay, that was his first part, I believe, and I just love how the video is all put together and edited, and it was like mostly a street video because it came out in like 1990, but like no one ever mentions that. Everyone's always like public domain, ban this, and they never mention propaganda. And I'm like, that was the classic one for me.
Was that the video that had a Pat Brennan section in it, or was that later on? Remember Pat Brennan? Pat Brennan died in an automobile accident, like in the 90s, I think. But he skated. He had like a piece of classical piano in that. Might have been.
Okay, I don't think that he was in that video. Then I was thinking of somebody else who says that they started skating because of Back to the Future, but I forget his name.
Okay.
But it's a good reason to start
That is
skating.
a good reason. Marty McFly is cool.
Yeah.
So I think all my friends that I did have back home, they started skating because of Back to the Future, and I was like a year after that. I think I came on a little late from that. So
You were bigger into Back to the Future too? Once there was a possibility of a hoverboard in the future, you said, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in now. Okay, yeah, I'll sign up for that.
But fast forwarding to more so, when you a little more contemporary, let's say in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after that we've got video days, and then there's obviously bits and bobs floating around. There's obviously you've got Love Child, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
And
Spencer Fujimoto.
That video, like Jed and
Day one.
Like I learned a hard flip like that day off a curb,
Wasn't that like the first hard flip on in a video?
I think that is the first one. He does it over like a tiny grass gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small drop.
And it's super mobbed.
I may even hit the floor, but I'll give him a pass on that because it was the first one I'd seen, and it was day one. I went out and learned. I had to do a hard flip that day from seeing that, so it wasn't pretty, but I had to do one, Yeah. And then after that, I think we get into more like 96, so we're into, visual sound, and then Tin Can Folklore from Stereo, and Eastern Exposure 3. That was the video that really changed, was another big change.
Nice.
That was...
East Coast USA is
Hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying is the best skating ever. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody.
Yeah, and
Sorry, go on.
I always feel like when we were growing up, we were watching for the newer videos, at least we were watching a lot of we got a lot of like the Blueprint videos, landscape, obviously like Heroin and stuff. Yeah. And that seemed so much more accessible and relatable to us through like, I don't know, East Coast skating is, the spots are shitty,
mm-hmm.
We don't have big, perfect handrails or sets or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we see you guys skating these cobblestones that have been there for fucking 2,000 years or some bullshit. And we're like, all right, these guys fucking get it.
It's true. There's almost like there's some sort of connection between England and New England. I don't understand. I wouldn't expect it.
Apart from all of the place names and all the buildings.
Yeah, it's very odd.
That's the same. When I saw Eastern Exposure 3, obviously I'd seen the Fairman's video and I'd seen Eastern Exposure 2 maybe before that, but Eastern Exposure 3, it was the same thing for us. I could relate to it because it was guys skating in really actual genuinely warm sweatshirts, not California sweatshirts,
mm-hmm.
And wearing coats and beanies and gloves even. And it's getting in the dark, like, because, I don't know, it wasn't blue, sunny California sky. Maybe because the whole thing was black and white as well, I guess. That kind of was a big part of it. It was really so relatable, to see. I was a huge Donny Barley fan. I've always been a huge Donny Barley fan.
Of course,
so,
hell yeah.
And Rick Earl's kind of four-wheel drive skateboarding, the way he skated and the way he approached things with driving over things on a massive board with riser pads and 60 mil wheels, and Matt Reason, all those guys. That was a totally different take on skateboarding. It was technical, but there was kind of a lot of four-wheel drive skateboarding in it. All-terrain skateboarding. Like
you could just say the spots suck.
Spots are bang. But we could just relate to it. It was kind of crusty, but it was much more relatable than, when I went to America, I went to, New York and the two places stuck out in America to me were Philadelphia and Chicago, much more than California.
Yeah.
I spent a bit of time in all those places, but Philadelphia, skating downtown Philadelphia is flat pretty much. You can skate everywhere. You can skate up, in the street.
There's no hills. It's weird.
Like Love Park and City Hall across the street, and all of that just was so much more relatable. I was really lucky. That was like '97. I went there, and that was that was amazing. That was really good. But it was much more relatable as far as where I'd come from in skateboarding, architecture wise. San Diego is very, literally arid. It's very dry. The public transport's terrible. If you don't have a vehicle, you're stuffed, and you end up getting dragged to the same old spots that you've seen in videos, and they're normally, I don't know, they're just kind of standing. It's exciting to go to somewhere and skate, PB, or go to Roosevelt School or see these places, but there's nothing there to do, Whereas Philadelphia was like street skating, like granite ledges, like Love Park. Like, wow, I can relate to this,
I felt the same way when I visited LA. I was like, and I skate with Foss, and he showed me a couple spots that I liked, but for the most part while I was there, either Foss or my friend, I was like, you're pretty much taking me on a famous skate tour of all the spots that I can't skate and have no interest in skating. And I'm still having fun seeing them. I'm still liking that I'm seeing the Clipper ledge, but at the same time, I would like to skate something that I would actually skate. Yeah. And the Philly and Chicago I like way more than LA. Even San Francisco maybe has a little something more that I want to skate, but you ever been to Boston?
No, that's the one place I didn't go. I missed Boston. It was just because of the route I took across. I just flew into New York and then basically had to ground across to San Francisco. I had like 90 days on my visa. Like my passport was a visa, so I had 90 days to get across.
The holiday visa. I'm familiar with the one.
Yeah, it was basically that. So I was lucky. I got a trip I went down to Wilmington, went to Baltimore maybe, and a few random places, Ohio. I went to Dayton, Ohio, like completely randomly, and stayed with some guys there. A guy called John Buchanan used to be Flow for Alien. And saw Mike Hayes.
Awesome. Inventor of the laser flip. Yell exit time code. Beep, beep, beep.
Dude, I love time code. Yell exit Lenny Kerr.
Yell exit Josh Kalis. Fuck it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I missed Boston. I really do want to go there. Somewhere in all of the states, it's the one place I do need to go back and see. So I will do that. I'm not bullshitting you. I will actually get out there at some point and go.
Hey,
there.
dude, you know what? Let us know. You always got a place to stay if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Sick. We'll do that.
As long as you get a COVID test before you come.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you just show up, you just tell us when you're coming, and then the day you're showing up, we'll tell Matt Tomasello that you need to stay in his basement, and everything will be gravy.
You'd be okay with that, will you?
Oh, absolutely. He'd actually probably be psyched if we told him it was Chris Pulman.
You could stay on my futon, too. I don't mind.
Sick, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, also, my mom has had a pen pal for 30, 40 years or something like that, from England, who lives in Sheffield.
No way.
Yeah, and
Is it Jarvis Cocker?
Right before COVID hit, we were going to take a trip out there.
Okay.
And no, it's not Jarvis Cocker.
That'd be sick.
Is he from Sheffield?
He's from Sheffield, right? I think Pulp's from Sheffield.
I did not know that.
How do I not know? I don't know anything. I told you I don't know anything.
You keep talking. I'll Google search it.
Okay. Anyway, right before I hit up, Brookfield there, being like, I'm coming out to Sheffield. Me and my mom. She's gonna visit her pen pal. I'm gonna just be there to skate. Let's link up. And he was super psyched, and then COVID hit. Goddamn COVID hit.
Mm. And Jarvis Carker is from Sheffield.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Confirmation.
So I'm still planning on going out there as well to, to Sheffield.
But you're not in Sheffield, though, are you?
No, I mean, I'm near London.
He's close enough.
Where near London, if you don't mind?
This place
sharing.
is kind of Surrey, which is kind of west southwest of London. It's only like 40 miles out of London. So a lot of really wealthy kind of city kind of people live here. It's kind of nice countryside, but it's not really. I'm really in exile here. It's not really my natural environment, but I'm enjoying the countryside, you know. So, but there isn't a lot of modern architecture here, so it's lots of skate parks and the odd trip into London to skate. You know, obviously it's great. London's great to skate. So, even going to Stockwell Skate Park, which is still a favorite of mine, so I go there. But but you should if you when you come over here, you can come stay here, and I can take you on a tour around here as well into London and do that stuff. But
I'll have to rent a car or something.
Yeah.
To make it all the way from there to there.
But he says he refuses to drive on the left-hand side of the road.
It's true.
So you
I'm
better
gonna
watch
be driving
out.
on the right the entire time.
Warn everyone.
Okay, I'll warn them more.
Yeah, thank you. So my cousin owns a brewery in is it Faversham in Kent?
Faversham, okay.
Yeah, called Yellow Exit Boutelier's Brewery. If anyone
Yellow Exit.
is in the UK and that's it's distributed places. I'm sure you can find it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been to England probably about 8 times, always with my family. My dad is from Yorkshire. But I never got to. I brought my board a few times, but I never actually got to go skate. I skated a park. I skated a few parking lots, and I skated a flat bars that some random kids had set up in like a city plaza once. That's it. I never got to. I saw some spots when I was in London, but I didn't have my board. Oh, it's a damn shame. It's a bummer.
To come all this way and not to like roll around at South Bank or to go to Stockwell and just see it, and it's really, you can see a lot of that stuff in a day. If you had a nice dry long day, you could do, and a good tour guide, you can do that real quick, just to go and have an hour in 4 or 5 places, you could do that.
Right.
It's all really, really doable. Get on the tube and just do it that way, and then just go on underground and do it that way.
The proper skate tour.
Yeah, you could do it.
I didn't have a guide though.
That's true.
My aunt doesn't skate.
So I know. So Eastern Exposure came out, and then you turned pro for Heroin Skateboards, and you decided to quit. And then years went by where you were doing God knows what.
Yeah, what was I doing? So I did. So I kind of quit the heroin, being pro skateboarder and riding for vans at the time over here, and so I was doing the whole black box job. So I did that for like 5 years. As like a sales manager here, running Black Box UK. So I was doing it all. Essentially, I was running the whole thing and being the footwear rep and the whole lot. So. Which was really good. I really liked the challenge of that. I actually liked working. I'm a fan of Jamie Thomas. I've always been a fan of Jamie Thomas as a skateboarder.
The chef, of course.
And I got to go out to San Diego like 3 or 4 times a year as well, which was nice because they're a good crew of people out there. Worked at Black Box. They were good dudes. So that was obviously there's a massive number of really rad people worked at Black Box, so from John McGuire to Chad Pulman, who's the general manager there, and all the other guys, who worked there, from Mario, who worked in production, to Billy Weatherford, who's like, he worked there, and Brian Howard worked there, and Brian's from, I want to say, South Carolina. Right, Brian Howard, vert skater.
Yeah, I remember him from the videos. I don't know him personally.
Yeah, B. Howard worked out there. He was. I always stayed with him. He was super cool, and he'd take us to some rad spots. So it was good to see that that was the best view of California I got when I was there, because we got to go to some good spots. But anyway, so I did the whole black box thing, and then we had a recession, and that all kind of went down the pan. I managed to keep Black Box UK going for quite a while, and then I think everything was starting to struggle, and yeah, that didn't really work out so good. That's kind of they just couldn't. I think the Black Box in the US had to concentrate so hard on their domestic market, they really couldn't pay too much attention to international. Mm-hmm. So it was really hard. It was quite labor intensive just to employ just one person overseas to do it. They kind of just needed to give it back to a distributor again. And I'd worked really hard to make Fallen work over here, So, it was just got to a point where it just wasn't going to work for me at that point. So then I went back to Slam. I went back to Slam City Skates, and I worked as their business manager for a little while. And that was when Palace was starting up. So I worked, Lev is someone I've known a real long time, and Palace was really exciting. So I got to work there a little bit, doing sales and a little bit of production as well. Mm-hmm. So that was really good. I enjoyed that because they're all good kids. Lev's a good kid, and Chewy and Brady and Karim and all those guys are really cool. So
yeah.
And they're people who I saw grow up as well. So,
and they seem to be doing quite well.
Yeah, they're doing really well. Like I think by the time when I left, so I only went back to Slam for a couple of years. And then it was after that really that Palace was gearing up to go in that direction to become this large brand. It was very
like a hype beast brand almost.
Into the realms of Supreme.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That kind of size and kudos, and with stores and that kind of vibe. And it was always going to go in that direction, I think, because it had the potential to always be I don't want to call it the British Supreme, because that's not fair to those guys, but it equates to the same thing, Yeah. So
the British equivalent.
Yeah, I don't want to, because they're not that. But
success-wise, we'll say.
Well, we'll call it a top streetwear brand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should explain it that way. So,
UK's premier streetwear brand.
Exactly.
Palace.
So you stayed in the industry pretty much the entire time?
Yeah, so I managed Slam City Skates from 1999 to 2005. Then I worked for Black Box till 2010, 11. Then I worked at Slam from 11 to 13. Then I had my own little brand for a couple of years.
Oh, what was that?
That was called Descent Skateboards. It was pretty small. It was very niche, aimed at like the 1% skateboarders that might have got it. And that kind of did okay. It did well over here. It was never really going to do much internationally, but it had a fan base here, So,
mm-hmm.
And then I worked at the Polar distributor, Keen Distribution over here for like a year.
Yeah, I reached out to them to try to see if they want to carry Fancy Lad.
Okay.
To a guy named Mike.
Yeah, Mike's a good lad. Yeah, he works really hard.
Yeah.
He cares a lot, Mike. So
yeah. Huh. Yeah, he said he wasn't interested.
Oh, really? He's got a lot on his plate right now.
I know. No.
Right.
He was nice about it. He said he kind of gave me the he wasn't interested at this moment, but if I built the brand up a little more, feel free to hit him back. So
yeah, I think Mike's a really hardworking guy. He runs a really tight ship, and maybe I think Fancy Lad kind of needs. Just really needs someone who's like a massive fan of it to really push it and give it the attention and and
it's true.
Yeah, otherwise it's just going to be another brand on a list of brands, and that wouldn't do you justice. You need,
right? But it's weird because it's a niche brand with also mass appeal. That's what I want Mike to realize going into this.
Okay,
if he's listening.
Yeah. Mike might be listening. I hope he's listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Mike.
So do you still work in the industry to this day?
No, I haven't worked. So I had a bit of I don't know. 2016 was a disaster. I don't really know how much I want to talk about that, but 2016 was a disaster. Like, I lost my job, my marriage fell apart, my company failed. And then I kind of went into exile, I guess, self-imposed for a couple of years. And
Did you
then,
move up to the mountains and start hunting your own food? And...
I went back to Wales and lived in a cottage. I lived at a chocolate factory for a little while, and then an abandoned chocolate factory, which was a whole other experience. And then, from 2016 to kind of maybe last year was kind of a bit of a wilderness years kind of thing, and I kind of didn't. There was a moment where I really didn't even want to look at a skateboard. It didn't. I think I was on some quest for authenticity or something, and I'd spent my whole life skateboarding, and skateboarding had defined me as a human being. Mm-hmm. And I think I was a little bit worried that I was going to go my whole life and be like, was skateboarding the only thing I ever did? You know what I mean? Was that the only passion I ever had? You know, because I don't do artwork. I don't draw and paint like I used to, or I do rock a little bit. But
it's the only way that you have to express your creativity.
Yeah, and I was
the only avenue.
A little worried that I was going to be defined by that, and I kind of rejected it for a little while, and was hoping something else might spring out of whatever, and be like, oh, am I going to be a writer? Or am I going to be a teacher? Am I going to be something else? And it turned out that skateboarding really was my big passion in my life, and my board was in the corner of the room, kind of shouting at me, saying, "Hey, look, you should be doing this. This is what you do," So It took a little while to say, you know what, maybe you just have to admit it and admit to yourself that you are, Chris Pulman, skateboarder.
It's your calling.
It is, and it seems really weird to me, and I have this huge thing about like what is authentic and what isn't, but it's very rare to find a passion in your life. I think a lot of people go through their lives without ever finding some strong passion that they throw themselves into,
Yeah.
So I feel really lucky, and I forgot how lucky I was to have that real strong drive towards one thing,
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, I'll just skate a lot more and dedicate more of my time to it. And skateboarding, as you get older, you have to put the hours in a little bit,
Yeah.
Because if you don't enjoy it because you're not good on your board, you can't express yourself to it because you just don't have the board control. So you kind of have to put the hours in to then, get to a certain level where you can enjoy it again,
Right.
It wasn't forcing it, I was enjoying it, but I did I put the hours in, and then it started coming back together again, and I started really enjoying it again, so.
Well, that's what Matt was saying a while back. Matt Tomasello, he was like, I spent 20 years getting this good at skateboarding. You don't think I'm gonna spend every moment I can to actually, actively be this good at skateboarding in the moment? I put a lot of work into it to get up to this point. It doesn't make sense to not be skateboarding right now.
Yeah, I think that's what it felt like, and obviously there is more to skateboarding than actually skateboarding. And as you get a little older, you can see that. I ditched Instagram for a while. I don't have any other social media. I just have Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Which you see. I was assuming that you left skateboarding,
right?
And so you could come back with new haircut, new set of glasses, a mustache, a striped shirt, and a new set of slacks, and come back and make your huge comeback in Instagram, which you have, as the new steezy guy on the scene. Now that you've reinvented yourself fashion wise.
I don't know. I think I've gone backwards. I think I look more like everybody thought I looked, and now than I did for years. I didn't. There was no. I got back on Instagram because it was a way of connecting. If you want to, I don't have a job. I haven't worked for a couple of years, and if you want to get free product, then you work for it. And say, hey, Fars, I'm gonna if you give me some boards, I'm going to go and film some stuff and try and take photos and do that, and do the work side of it,
Mm-hmm.
Right. Foz has always looked after me, and he's he can tell when I'm inspired to skate and when I'll do stuff, so he's known me long enough.
Yeah.
It's not a direct transaction of effort for product, it's not like that, but it is, if it can help Foz out and express myself through skateboarding, I'm going to do that,
Well, it's a business relationship.
Yeah, in a way, but it's so much, it's a lot more than that, but
yeah.
But there's a little bit of that. But obviously, at my age, coming back into skateboarding, I wanted to come back and maybe say something or talk to someone or talk to people. And I don't know. Didn't think I came back with any direct idea of inspiring anybody. It just turned out that way, that maybe people who are a little bit older who haven't skated for a while, like, oh, wow, you've shown me that it's okay to just skate around and smile and enjoy it, with whatever talent you still have left,
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a connection there, and I've talked a lot about mental health as well, and there's been a really good connection with that too, and just mostly about inspiring people to talk about it. That's kind of been a big part of coming back, to use skateboarding as literally a vehicle to kind of to get people talking about things like that. And that seemed really important to me at the time, and it does now. So, yeah.
I feel like the mental health thing is a big part of your Instagram, and it's something that is, a lot more talked about today than I have ever heard. I mean, we all have mental problems. I have my own. I just started trying transcendental meditation myself.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I think when our friend Ben Ramers took his own life, that was a big, me and Ben both rode with vans. Ben's a lot younger than me, and he's much more connected to a lot more of my friends, but it didn't seem right that someone that talented and that nice somehow got into that position where they didn't feel like they could be around anymore, because there's someone who had a lot to offer the world,
Yeah.
And in my head, I think that was the trigger to get back on Instagram, is this can't happen again. Like, we can't lose another passionate, lovely human again like that. It just didn't seem right. And, from my own experiences to get to where I was and still exist, I thought I could maybe take something of that experience and just talk about it honestly, and this talking about mental health and skateboarding is quite hard, because it is a very weird, judgmental kind of place, unfortunately, still.
I mean, skateboarders are a bunch of nihilists for the most part. Yeah,
well, you'd think so, but they're also quite judgmental on things, and you feel like you can't talk about this stuff. All this, I know you get a lot of toxic masculinity in sport and the macho-ness, and we don't really get so much of that in skateboarding, but there is still an aspect of we haven't talked about this stuff as much.
Yeah.
And, that's the biggest problem. That's why, more men are way more likely to take their own lives, because they just don't talk about this stuff. They get way down deeper in the hole before they reach out to anybody, if they ever do,
Mm-hmm.
And talking about things just really helps. Just really, bouncing an idea, bouncing a feeling off someone just helps an awful lot. It helps it gives you perspective. I don't know. It's a massive part of it. Just feeling like you're not on your own is a real help.
Mm-hmm.
To know that other people have the same experiences, the same doubts, the same anxieties, and it is a big part of being a human being that you have these anxieties. And
it does feel like a bit of a cold, cruel world out there, though, at times.
Yeah. Well, the world is, it's nasty, brutish, and short, isn't it? So that's life. It is like that. That's what it is. And you are here, and you have, in my opinion, you're here once and you have an experience to have, and maybe fill it with as much good stuff as you possibly can. You know, it's just one ride on the roller coaster, like just throw your arms in the air and scream and enjoy it, you know? So just have it.
Yeah.
So that's the way I perceive it. And it's, I just want everybody to have that chance, you know? And I don't know, maybe I'm waffling a little.
Well, no, I think it's a good thing what you're doing. I applaud you for your efforts, really and truly.
I'm not trained in anything to do with mental health. I have my own experiences to talk to, and mostly what I've been doing is talking one-to-one in direct messages through Instagram with people who've been in a similar situation, who've said, hey, look, I'm really glad you're talking about this stuff. This affects me too. And just to see you skating and talking about this stuff helps, you know? And it helps me too, I'll be absolutely honest, being able to talk about it with feeling like I have nothing to lose here, you know, like I don't have like I said, skateboarding is quite judgmental. I'm sure there are plenty of people who have mental health problems who have felt like they haven't been able to speak about it because they fear they'll get dropped by their sponsors, or they won't be marketable if they have depression. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in skating who are like that, and they've had to hide it for that reason. I've got nothing to lose, so I can talk about it, you know, and
yeah,
that's a very unique situation to be in, but hopefully by talking about it, I'll encourage other people. And I'm not the only person doing this by a long way. There are plenty of people doing this. You know, the Ben Ramos Foundation, you know, they've talked to, you know, to Aaron, and they've talked to Nick Jensen, so the Smile interviews, and they've been very frank about their, you know, the problems they've had and their feelings. And I found that inspiring myself, you know, but the general conversation talking about this stuff is really, I think that's going to help, you know. Skateboarding is an amazing thing. We've already got this amazing creative outlet. We just got to kind of be able to talk amongst ourselves, and you know, and really, exploit how good that is, that creative side of skateboarding, you know, and into talking as well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should have thought this bit out a bit more.
No, it's, yeah, I don't like have much more to say about it other than I admire you for doing so.
Thank you. I'm it's very amateur hour. Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not trained to deal with this. I haven't done crisis training or any of that stuff. I think again, it's passion over skill maybe, and it's for some people it's helping, and that's really nice to be able to help. But I would like to do more with this stuff. I think it's really important, you know, and to use, like I said, to use skateboarding as a vehicle to kind of to get people talking. Skateboarding's changing an awful lot, and it's becoming, obviously we've visually seen it become much more inclusive and much more open, and actually become, you know, when I started skateboarding because I thought it was this great open-minded, unique group of people, and as I've been skateboarding all the years I've been skateboarding, I found it's not as open as it pretends it's going to be. As it, you know, it's not this great group of, you know, very open-minded people. It still has a lot of narrow-minded stuff. But I think recently, people are pushing to make skateboarding much more inclusive, and being much more open, much more about what it actually is. You know, what it's pretended to be. So. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I think, you know, as a social group, skateboarders are kind of they're you know, more diverse and more open-minded generally, you know. So I'm sure there are plenty of other groups and plenty of other subcultures that are similar, but skateboarding does seem like a really good place to kind of to make a social change, you know.
Yeah, skaters are the best, dude. If you're a skater, you're my friend, is how I see it.
The way it should be, you know.
We're all brothers, okay? We're all brothers and, you know, sisters and family in this skateboard world.
Yeah, that's really important. You know, it was like that when I was young, and it should be like that now. Okay, skateboarding's got a lot more mainstream, and it has brought in a lot more mainstream kind of mentalities, unfortunately. But on the whole, it's still really open-minded, you know. So I think, yeah, skateboarding's sick, you know. So
yeah. It's at a good point, I think.
That's really good. There's something for everybody as well. It's really open. Obviously, you know, the lockdown here has meant we've had a lot more a lot more girls skating, for example,
Right.
and there's been generally guys have been much more they've been better allies generally, and much more inclusive at the skate park, and kind of just giving people a chance and giving people a chance to share the space. And I think that's going to help. That's really going to help. We need more of that, just making skateboarding more inclusive. Because everybody should have a skateboard. I think it would fix the world if everybody had.
Yeah, if everyone skate. You don't have to do it forever. Just give it a try. You'll probably want to.
It'll just give you a different perspective on the world, which I think would be good, which would benefit everybody. It would help them untap out of the goddamn matrix.
Mm-hmm. We could also give everyone some boomers.
That's what I was actually going to mention. I feel like I've been depressed my whole life, and I didn't even realize it till the first time I took psychedelics, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I had a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, just tell, also, the talk about it, but if it's for you, also maybe try psychedelics. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever works is my point.
Yeah. Don't get caught on one particular crutch. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I know you can't rely on these Band-Aids, these crutches. Okay. You got to get to the root of the issue, but I'm saying it might be an avenue. Okay.
Yeah.
A bunch of different avenues to take to actually get to the root of the issue.
Yeah.
You must have a million questions for us.
A million questions for you guys.
That's what I'm guessing.
Let me think. Oh man. Where's Abe? What's Abe doing today?
Abe's in Pittsburgh, and he is fucking so scared of COVID, he can't even come visit us. We were trying to make this edit where we skated 94 Camaro, and he was too shook. He was too shook by the COVID.
Really? So when was the last time you saw him?
Probably a year at least.
I think maybe he came here like 6 months ago or something. No, actually, no. Before COVID.
Chris,
okay.
You're going to have to forgive me. I'll be right back. I don't know if you want to take a break for our sponsors or something, or just keep talking, Chris, but I will be right back. I swear to God.
All right, Chris, I got to let you know this happens every single episode. Right pretty close to towards the end where Bigzo has to pee.
He's got a small bladder. See, I thought that was going to be me, but that's just down to old age. So I didn't realize he had a bladder the size of a walnut.
I think his bladder might be small. It might be the age thing. I mean, he's only a year older than me, so I hope not, because I don't want to have to piss every hour. But yeah, it's pretty much every time we do this, Bigzo's got to piss at some point. But this is a great time for me to tell you. It's the holiday season coming up.
Yeah,
and this must have been 2005. I think it was 2005. Let's say Christmas 2005.
Okay.
My girlfriend at the time, her mother bought me a Chris Pulman heroin board for Christmas.
No way.
Yeah. And I was so fucking psyched because I was like, how'd you even... Obviously, she went to the skate shop I worked at, and my coworker was like, oh, this is the board Tom wants. But I was just like, whoa, how did you know I wanted this Chris Pulman board? I was blown away. Wow.
What graphic did it have on it?
It was the Live from Antarctica series. So it was, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the one. Oh, yeah.
I do have one on the wall because I'm really proud of this thing. So,
dude, it's fantastic. I mean, that's your Instagram photo currently as well.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, man, fantastic. Still with the striped shirts.
I think that's where the striped shirt kind of came from.
Right? Yeah, no. So,
I'm really proud of that. James Jarvis drew that for the video cover and everything. That's I'm still super hyped on that. So
yeah, I love that whole series. I mean that video was just, I mean, as I said, we all loved the English skate scene anyhow. But when that video came out, we're like, oh, this is like fucking sick. This is like punk, Yeah. But yeah, I got that board for Christmas from my girlfriend's mother, and it was fucking like mind blown. I was like, how the fuck? It was like some Santa shit, You
ride it, yeah, or not?
Oh no, I skated. Yeah, I skated it.
Amazing. No, they're good. I had so many of those things. That was the Magic 8. It was like 8 inches. It was a long 8-inch board. It was magic. I loved that thing.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, it was a great shape, and that was the thing, because that was like around the time where like we were all skating bigger boards, you know, like that being like I was skating an 8-inch board, but you get like an 8-inch Tum Yeto board, and it's like 8 inches by like 31 and a quarter or some shit. You know, it was pretty chody. But that one had a good shape to it.
These were Chapman shapes. They were really good. You guys remember Chapman skateboards, right?
Yeah, that's
Dewey.
who distributes Fancy Lad skateboards.
Okay. Do they still run with the strapline Bentwood from Brentwood?
They had every heroin mold I'm sure you're thinking of is from their wood shop in Maine, and they had to shut that down about a year or two back.
Okay.
Yeah, so they actually they actually just do all the printing and distributing in house now, but the wood comes from a wood shop, Clutch wood shop. So
Okay. Yeah, those things were good. We had, the shapes are sick on those things. There was a little back then in the early 2000s, a little bit more variation in the wood, but I loved those things. It was solid, and they really worked over here in our temperature. It always seemed like tomato boards were a little bit more porous, and they get kind of soggy in the wet.
Yeah, they definitely did. Tum Yeto got wet. Not as bad as Girl and Chocolate boards though.
Okay.
Those were just like noodles.
Like Chapman boards, kind of, I don't know. They were just crisp. They were like slightly heavier, but they were just more solid. They just worked for here. So I guess that's maybe why they worked on the East Coast over there. Just the climate worked with the climate or whatever. So love those things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a shame they had to close down their wood shop, but hey, at least they're still in business.
Mhm.
To this day.
I never spoke to those guys. Foz did all that. Foz spoke to all those guys there. So
Yeah, Glenn and Greg, they always say that Foss is the good homie.
my only experience of those guys is Billy Rohan, who lived in London for a little while, and I used to hang out with Billy a lot. So I had a lot of fun with Billy. So I don't know where he's living right now. So, but yeah, Billy had that. Yeah, he rode for those guys for a little while. Didn't he? So
Are you officially on the heroin team again?
no, Foz has given me boards. It's
I was
sick.
just curious. I was just curious in the next video if we were to expect a Chris Pulman part.
Well, there still could be. That could be the announcement.
Yeah, I'm trying to film for Foz as much as I can. I just want to give something back for he's giving me boards. I want to do the work for that. So
Right.
So you want to put in countless hours, like, spending 8 hours filming one trick just so you could get maybe a board.
No. No, I'd love to film. I'm going to film as much as I can. Like, obviously Instagram is one thing, and filming things like Trick on a Stick is one thing. And, even, the little park edits for my, for my local shop. That's one thing, but actually getting out in the wild and filming, real skateboarding in real spots and trying to put together a section, or even just, tricks to go into a friend section, that's something I'd like to do, but I don't want to just rely on the same old crap. I'm 46 years old. It's going to be really hard to skate progressively, even beyond my own ability, my own old abilities. But that's not going to stop me trying. I still want to try and push myself. I wouldn't sleep well at night if I was just hanging on to like past glory too much.
You're not just gonna coast by on the fact that you're a Steez Master 5000 now.
I feel a lot better on my board than I ever have. That's the weirdest thing. Like, I enjoy riding along on a skateboard.
Yeah.
More than I did when I was a kid. And I don't know where that's come from. Like, it is harder. I'm stiffer, I'm tireder, but I actually enjoy rolling along and the half falling off, half staying on, arms flailing all over the place. Like, that feels more natural now than it ever has, so I'm really enjoying that part of it. Like, it's
arms flailing. Are you kidding me? You're like Mark Johnson over there, just like completely like
No,
landing in like a calculated steez.
dude, that is seriously damage limitation. All those like that aftershapes thing that I get loads of crap for. I can't ride away any other shape than that. That's I'd say style to imperfection, but I don't like to use the word style. That's what an imperfection looks like, you know. So if I was really talented, I'd be able to skate perfect and ride away with my arms by my side like Shane O'Neill. But I can't skate perfect, so I have to ride away with my arms like all over the place, like I'm a little teapot, you know, or whatever.
I don't know if they're all over the place. Okay, Matt Mumford's are all over the place, but you know, this guy's like my boy Brent over here, dude. It's like Brent Ashley over here.
Oh, dude, no. Honestly, I've always been really realistic about the level of skill I have in skateboarding, and it is way more passion than skill. I wish, trust me, I wish I was epic at skateboarding. You know, I'd love to be able to do any trick on command, but I can do the tricks I can do, and I relish those tricks. And I think that's maybe it's relish. It's enjoying a trick. When you follow through with your arms, when you do a trick, it's because you're relishing it, you're enjoying it, you know. And I think that's where that comes from. And I get a lot of shit for it too, you know. I'm sure, and I daren't look at a message board or anything.
I haven't seen any. I mean, for the most part, Instagram's pretty like there's not a lot of haters on it because the people who are following you already like you. They're already a fan of you, you know.
It has been good, but it could have. It could be horrible, you know. Like, for the 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100 people who says something mean, that's the bit that always sticks, you know. So
yeah, those are the comments you remember.
Yeah,
it is, but they're giving you attention because they're jealous of, you know, your position in life, you know. So,
but it's weird to, you know, if I was going to hate on someone, I'd hate on someone who's getting paid. Like, don't hate on someone who's doing it for free.
but they hate on it. They probably hate on it because the level of followers, despite whether you're getting paid or not. They don't see how everything works. They see the numbers and they're like, you know,
followers. They're not currency. They're just interested people, or you know, or people who like to see an old man falling down. I don't know. They're not that. Followers are just, you know, that's just community. It's not something to hate on. Like, if I was getting paid and I didn't deserve it, yeah, I'd expect people to give me loads of crap. But you know, I'm just skateboarding and enjoying it. Like, why would you diss someone's passion? It doesn't make any sense, you know. Even if they don't look the way you expect them to look, or just leave them alone, leave them to it, leave them enjoy it.
You don't have to look.
Yeah, just don't look. Yeah, I can't bear to look myself. So.
Just like that Simpsons song.
Mm-hmm. Monorail?
No, I was thinking the Just Don't Look song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Monorail, though.
You weren't thinking he's checking in?
I'm usually thinking about that one and the Dr. Zayas song.
Oh, my God.
You know,
Dr. Zayas is so good.
We could do a whole episode on Simpsons songs.
Do you watch a lot of Simpsons over there, Chris?
I did. I haven't for years. Monorail is my favorite episode. The Len Lanley character in that, like, and just everything. That whole episode is like my favorite. And
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien wrote it. That's the classic right there. Season 4 is full of Stone Cold classics.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm more Rick and Morty. So
that's a great show. That's one of those shows that, and I know Bigzo will relate.
Yep.
That people for so long were like, "You got to watch this show, dude. It's so fucking good." And you were just like, "Dude, shut the fuck up." No, it's
show
not.
Looks so fucking stupid.
And the people that like it look so dumb. And then you watch it and you're like, "I was dumb. I'm the dumb one. This is so good."
I was dumb for being so close-minded. What was I thinking?
The dummy.
If you're halfway to being an nihilist, you're got to be a Rick and Morty fan, I guess. So.
God, it's so good. I mean, Dan Harmon, Yellegs at Dan Harmon. Love Community. Big Community fan over here.
Same.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
And that's what I tell all my riders. I say, show me what you got.
Mm-hmm. And if they get it, they're in. If they don't, give them some time.
They might be still in.
Yeah, they might still be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else can we talk about? Ask me some more questions if you got any.
Well, did you mention what you're currently doing for work right now? I forget. I mean, I don't know if that's interesting to you or if you're at liberty to say.
No, it's probably not the most interesting thing. I haven't worked for a little while. I don't I don't work. I've been signed off work because I'm not able to. So I'm on kind of, we have over here like social security, I guess. So not that exciting, to be honest with you. I'm kind of working towards getting back into doing something. Maybe it would be as working with a charity, like a mental health charity or something, or maybe it'd be something in skateboarding that wasn't really sales related, or something different in skateboarding I've never done before. Like I've never been a team manager.
Right.
I'd love that because that's getting in a van with a bunch of skaters and be like, right, let's go to a rad spot. Let's find something for you to get a photo on. Let's find something for you to get a photo on.
Right.
Like that. I've always, when I did have my first vehicle, I was dad. I had the car. I drove everybody around, you know?
Yeah.
I've never been a team manager. I always kind of like the idea of that, you know?
I'm kind of like the team manager of Fancy Lad.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like Bigzo's manager.
Yeah.
And how does that work out? Both of you.
It's been working out.
Yeah, Tom pretty much
Okay.
just tells me to manage the team, and then I say, all right, I'll
Team-
go do that.
Manage yourselves.
Yep. And then I say, manage yourselves, come back to me.
Yep.
I own the van, so it's like I'm automatically the team manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I own a camera too, so that's automatically I'm the team manager.
But everybody gets the job done, you know. I mean, everybody is creative and motivated and wants to like show them, you know, showcase themselves and be part of this rad thing. So are they independently motivated, or do you have to whip these guys to get them to do that stuff?
No, I mean it's a much more fortunate case where everyone knows that it's a labor of love and a passion project to even have got us to this point where we're at, because it seemed like a 1 in a million shot when we started the company. So now, I mean, everyone knows. Everyone who is a part of it is a part of it because they genuinely just want to see the company be successful. And if it is successful, then everybody benefits from it. So it's everyone's just really in it for the love of the game, which is, makes it the most fun.
But there's a massive amount of effort goes into the videos, you know, the amount of clips, the amount of creativity, the amount of sewing up skateboards that must go on and collecting props. It's just insane. Like,
it hardly seems worth it, doesn't it?
No, it seems totally worth it.
Especially now that you can't even make any money off of a video. It hardly seems worth it.
It's so rad though. Like it I don't know. It's just.
But it's all we know how to do, so we can't do anything else.
I think it's
the
sick.
one thing that we've been doing right. You can't take that away.
Yeah. I love it. I love the amount of effort. I sometimes I watched the Abe section maybe yesterday, I think, and just so much effort goes into it. Like, this crazy. Like, you can throw loads of money at something and put a load of gnarly pro skaters in a van, and that seems like way less effort to do that with money and tours and than just being infinitely creative with whatever's right in front of you. You know,
right? Well, having I guess it's right in front of you, but there's a good amount of pre-production that goes into it. Actually, this is a good time to plug the new Matt Tomasello video that came out on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh, is it out?
It's out.
Oh,
I just watched it today. It came out 1 day ago.
Are we in it?
We are in it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Me, Tom, Floppy Tim, and Caleb were all interviewed for this Matt Tomasello 10-minute documentary that Ripley's... Are you familiar with Ripley's Believe It or Not?
My kid has it for Christmas every year, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
They just came out with a video of Matt Tomasello. It's kind of like a little 10-minute documentary.
Yeah,
about
he's
him.
in the book this year.
Wow.
Yeah, he made it. But they didn't send Dean Cain, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess he's not the current host, so that's probably why. They didn't even send the current host, who is someone famous. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
I
Steve
don't
Buscemi,
know.
but I don't think that's right.
But they show the fair amount of pre-production that goes into everything, of him working on it all in his room and everything. Honestly, if it wasn't for all the cheesy typography and cheesy effects that they use on the video, I would say that they did a really good job. Yeah.
Where can we
But I
see
mean, despite the pre-production of like building the boards, I mean, I think Chris was saying more that like we're just using like we're utilizing whatever we have, like,
Yeah.
which is true, like reusing and recycling all the old boards and shit. Like if a company came at us and gave us like fucking, I don't know how much companies give people because I don't know what money is like, but let's say they gave us $50,000 and we're like, do something, and we could actually afford shit.
Yeah, I don't think it would affect the. I don't think the skating.
I don't even
would
know
get
how we would think of anything.
I don't think the skating would get any like better or more impressive. The actual tricks and boards being made.
Yeah.
We need to find a company to purchase a landfill for us,
I
so we
feel
just
like-
have like a pile of trash to work with.
I feel like if anything, that would go towards like production and like being able to skate certain things that you wouldn't be able to skate, or maybe something along those lines.
Or we could get Spike Jones.
Yeah, I could get Spike Jones. I don't know what he does, but
That's a good question.
yeah.
Thanks, that guy. You could have more explosions.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell Spike Jones, we're looking to make the next Rubbish Heap video.
Right.
So that's what we want you to do. All right? And hopefully he knows exactly what we mean by that.
But I go root around in a junk store and find you a camera and then just go.
Yeah.
It could work.
I guess, yeah, the big budget stuff. I mean, I guess the girl chocolate videos are the only ones that really try to take advantage of that. But it's like, is that really contributing all that much?
No, I don't think it does. I think,
Exactly.
Yeah, you could throw loads of money at what you guys do. Obviously, I want people to throw loads of money at you guys, but I don't think it would actually make it significantly better. You just have a nicer van and
Exactly.
massage. And but I think that I don't think it would improve the creativity. Is probably better for you guys not having a lot of money. But I didn't.
Yeah,
say
but we should have a lot of money.
God damn it, Chris.
I didn't say that. Obviously, you can cut that bit out. You guys need.
Can we?
lots
All right. Listen, all we want money wise is enough just to be able to afford to live. We don't want to buy new places or anything.
Yeah.
We just don't want to have to worry about working, so we can just focus on the skating.
That's good. Well, one of you needs to make sure you monetize this properly to make sure you can do that. Just definitely.
Yeah, we
I-
should have talked about that like 55 episodes ago.
I keep saying that, and it's a tough thing. Actually, I've been meaning to monetize all the episodes for at least the podcast on YouTube, because it'll add up eventually, and then I'll at least have $100.
Yeah,
Just $100.
Can I have some of those dollars?
Well, we'll see.
Damn
We'll see how the monetization goes.
What? Okay.
Buy you a new table saw anyway. At least you can make a job.
Yeah.
We got a brand new tool set just like 2 weeks ago. Actually, it fucking rips.
But Chris,
$200.
speaking of a nicer van, we were thinking about raffling off the Fancy Lad Dodge 99 Ram van.
Oh, sick. Okay.
Yeah, so here's the idea. We're going to start a GoFundMe, and anybody that donates $50 or more is automatically entered into the raffle to win the van, the old van. Not the new van. We want the new van.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to, if you don't want the van, but you want to, the chance to win the van, and you win it, you can either come pick it up,
or you can take the scrap value. Either way, the Kelly Blue Book value on the van's $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
how many tickets can we put you down for?
I don't know. I'll check the bank.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. We'll wait.
I'll check and get back to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
And you don't have to donate $50. Like, that's just if you want to be entered in the raffle. You could donate like 5, 10,
49.
15, 20,
Mhm.
49.
49. And if you donate $100, guess what? That's two entries.
Tickets.
That's
two
two
tickets.
entries.
I write your name down twice on a ticket.
Mhm.
Oh, it's 3 for $100. I want, I'm a businessman. I want 3.
Actually,
Okay, you
that
know
might
what?
be
That's
a good
actually a
deal.
really good idea.
That
Chris.
actually might be. a
We
good
might
deal.
hit you up after the podcast just to get some more ideas so we can make this actually work.
And I was thinking maybe there'd be a lower bracket too. Like if you donate $20, you're automatically entered to win a Fancy Lad skateboard.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Like this falls into, as you're saying, more money isn't going to, make us better necessarily. However, it's not that we can't make it fucking 20 miles right now without the van acting up. We can't go anywhere in the van. That's not too far.
We want to go on tour.
We want to go on tour. We want to be able to go do things, and we want to be able to keep creating the content that the people need and love.
Okay, but you want possession of this van. You don't want to just get some sweet deal with a hire company, right? You want your own piece.
We don't want to like a Red Bull van to drive around. Although, no, are they giving us all hats?
You want possession of this van so you can build something on the roof and kind of have a fold-out back section and the sides flip down and the doors fall off like a clown car. And
either that or at least spray paint some flames on the side.
Oh, my goodness. You need the flames.
Either way.
Yeah, you don't just like magnetic stickers. You actually want those things to be sprayed on permanently, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be permanent.
And actually, I should probably do that in the last days of the van right now, just for the rad factor.
Some flames?
Yeah, some flames. Toss some flames on there.
Yeah, you should do that now. Like, what time is it? Is it dark there? You should go do that right now after this.
Yeah, it's dark now.
Well, the flames will light up the spot.
Okay.
That's true. That is very true. So, yeah, let's see.
What else do you want to know? Anything else you want to know?
The Pullman over here. I already asked you about Independence Day. I already asked you about Spaceballs.
Let's see. All right, so you skated to Morrissey in Live from Antarctica.
Yes.
Go on.
Go on. Oh, I'm not going to ask about Morrissey. Don't worry. I'm not going to get political here.
Oh, okay.
I just want to ask. I was going to see what kind of music you're listening to these days.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I listen to everything and anything. Like, oh man.
Well, you mentioned Tom Waits in an interview.
I like Tom Waits. I got Tom Waits from Foz. I love Tom Waits for lots of reasons. Just the storytelling. But then I like so much stuff. Like I worked when I worked at Slam the first time. We were part of Rough Trade Records, so there was just endless new music coming up from the basement, like constantly from, when the White Stripes came out, or from really weird kind of ambient stuff, or, contemporary classical stuff like Philip Glass, or, everything. It was just so much music. So I don't know. I literally did today I've listened to complete Harold Budd today. Harold Budd died just a couple of days back. So, kind of, he wouldn't want to be called ambient. So yeah, I've been listening to Harold Budd, but then I was listening to Public Image Limited, or listening to Bert Kaempfert, which is German lounge music, or just
Harold Budd did a album with Brian Eno, right?
Yeah,
called The Pearl. Yeah.
I listened to that last night. And yeah, he's been doing stuff with, is it Robin Guthrie? Yeah, he's been doing stuff with him recently. An album came out just a couple of days back, on the 4th just a couple of days back. But then, I listened to a little bit of everything. So,
a little bit of everything. So you've been really into, the Russian composers like Shostakovich and Modest Mussorgsky, stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe, but let's think. Classical, more modern classical. So yeah, I like Steve Reich and that, all those kind of weird minimalist guys. I like that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
your Koyaanisqatsi and your Akhenaten and Einstein on the Beach and all that stuff.
Don't you think that PJ Ladd part in Really Sorry? Don't you think that was a missed opportunity to give John Cage music credits on a skate video?
Yeah, that could be nice. Yeah, they should have done that.
Especially if they made the part to the exact time of the, the piece I'm talking about.
I think so. Who is it?
John Cage. He composed the song that was complete silence for a certain amount of time. I think it was 3.5 minutes, where he would go on stage and open up the piano and then just have people listening to the ambient background for 3.5 minutes and then close it.
The sound. I think maybe
That was some next level shit.
Maybe the only thing I really didn't listen to, and I got panned at the time, was that old rhythm video. It's called Genesis, and it was all like, I think Ty made that, and it got panned for the music. Just, it was super hectic, maybe house music or something like.
You know what's funny is that's one. You know, I feel like I'm coming across like a poser on this podcast, but that's also one video that I haven't seen, Genesis, and I know it's a classic. Same with Speed Freaks. But I swear I've seen every other video in the world. Go ahead, mention one more video. Whatever video pops into your head.
Oh man, no, I'm not going to do that. Like some of my favorite videos are with those old Foundation videos, like Super Collider and all those things.
Oh yeah, Tentacles of Destruction.
Yeah, I love Foundation. I was like I was lucky enough I got flowed Foundation stuff over here for a couple of years.
Because you like that Todd Swank part, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was a huge Josh Beagle fan. I love Josh Beagle.
Yeah, he had a good part in the Magic F.
Yeah, OG Josh Beagle was like a hero. I like the first time I went out to the States when I was getting flowed that stuff, and I went to Commercial Street. They'd moved Tamiya 2 by then, and I got to hang out with Josh Beagle for a couple of hours, and that was like a dream because that guy was sick, you know. And then even a couple of years later, I'd go and drink beers with him at the Livewire or whatever that place is called, and yeah. Just me and that guy was sick. He was, you know, and he wasn't particularly cool. He was kind of not, you know, just a different, interesting kind of skater, you know. So
yeah, I came across in Barbarians at the Gate. You could tell.
Yeah, Barbarians at the Gate, and yeah, that Foundation was sick back then. That kind of time, like it was just Dickies and striped polos and Kurt Chart and yeah, Frank Arata even and all those guys.
Kurt Chart.
Yeah.
You ever hear Frank Arata claims that Bart Simpson was based off of him?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah. Didn't he live next door to Matt Groening or whatever? I don't know. But I've heard that story. I don't know if there's any truth in that. But.
And then I heard he's the one who designed all the shitty prefab parks that popped up all around New England.
Really? Bart Simpson?
Yeah, Bart Simpson.
God damn it, Bart.
Yeah.
I mean, those parks would have been pretty sick in Cartoon World, probably.
It could just be a rumor. Frank Arata also had a part in Pal Propaganda, just to bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, and Bucky Lasek, he had a part in that too.
You ever go to Bucky's Burritos?
No.
No. We're good.
Who's getting you psyched on skating nowadays on the IG?
Who gets me psyched on the IG or just generally in skating? Because
generally in skating, if you're following it, but I figured that you're mostly on the IG. Call me crazy.
Oh, no, I do check all the mags like online, like pretty regularly. I kind of scan through them all and just check. So you seen
the new Converse video, the new Death Wish video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Death Wish. Let me think. What was I hyped on recently? I like that Vans video. Obviously, it was put together like Greg put it together in a super cinematic way. I'm a fan of Gilbert's. I knew Gilbert when he rode for Fallen and Mystery way back. So I saw him way back then. And so I'm kind of a fan of how Gilbert's put himself together and how he skates and his ethos. Man, who else was sick recently? There were loads of good stuff. Damn.
Even if it's a sort of FU Stoop type character, you know?
I like Bobby DeKaiser. When Bobby DeKaiser first came out, I was like, oh, this guy is like interesting and he's pushing skateboarding. He's doing stuff that I wish I could do. He's got a different angle on stuff. So like Bobby's stuff was, you know, Bobby DeKaiser stuff was sick when he came out. Like I'm a fan of like lots of you know odd people like Ryan Sublette. Like he's someone I'd love to see more footage of that guy. You know, so don't see a lot of footage of that guy. And whenever he puts something out, I'm hyped on that. Or let me think who else. Like obviously Tom Knox had that rad section recently for Atlantic Drift kind of part. That was rad.
I remember that.
Worked super hard for that and just genuinely hard work skateboarding him and they put that video together. Like, let me think what else there is.
I was a fan of the Jamie Foy part in the Death Wish video. Call me crazy.
Well, it was pretty sick.
With the crook, the front feeble, the front crook, the front.
Yeah,
that was insane.
That was just that was next level. I don't get that. And I like audibly was like, whoa, and then some when I saw that. So, like Furby's part, like that was just, I was just like all the way through that, So I can't think who else was in it. That was super sick. What other videos have I watched? I've watched like a ton of videos recently as well. So,
well, you reached out to me after Secrets of the Clown Box.
Yeah.
So you've seen that one?
Yeah, I saw that. But also that, Matt's part, like that was sick. There were a ton of bits in that which were good. I always liked seeing Abe skate. Like your stuff was rad.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear.
That whole thing has been engineered just to say that, right? Oh man, you put me on the spot. This is crazy because I could literally have written a list of like all the things that get me hyped, but I'm now not getting it out.
Just say it's Jazz Wade. That's who gets you hyped.
Jazz Wade. Jazz is sick. I like Jazz. He's a good dude. So yeah, he's someone I want to hang out with more, really. But who else is good? Dead Dave, like a completely different kind of skateboarding to me. Like when Foz first showed me footage of Dead Dave, I was like, this is completely unique and perfect for Heroin Skateboards.
I mean, he kind of reminded me of Craig Questions a lot of the time, though. I mean, not like exactly, but in the same realm, Yeah.
He's like not the same character. Is a big part of Craig. Is his character. It's his.
Do you skate with Craig a lot?
No, but I've known him. I've not really hung out with him an awful lot even in the past. So, Craig's sick though. Craig is someone I should kind of skate with, So
I met,
but I don't.
Yeah, Craig was in the Fancy Lad video. I don't know if you saw him there.
Yeah,
a little cameo.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting Craig, and I didn't even recognize him, but I remember seeing him in the videos, and I thought to myself, "Oh God, this guy seems like he'd be a real handful to hang out with, like kind of like a bit much." But then I met him, and I love the guy.
Yeah, he does that. The first time I met Craig, he was intense, but I like that. I like people who are like that, who have a genuine character. He's authentic. That's who he is. And he's different, and that's good. I like that. So
yeah.
Who else is skating? Oh man, there's so many guys who are killing it. Like Kyle Wilson, who skates like London, he kills it. Man, so many people. I'm trying to think of like American parts that have come out recently. Like they're really. I literally watch every. If it comes out, I'll watch it once, and then maybe I'll go back and watch it again, So I kind of promised myself at some point maybe that I wouldn't be one of those guys who talk about back in the day all the time, because back in the day was sick. But
I mean, that's more like what I like talking about anyway, the glory days,
I like it, but it's
the pre-internet days where it was just more special.
Yeah, well, it was. It wasn't so blown out, and it was special, and we need to keep that alive, and keep the memory of that alive. It sounds like it's an obituary, but we need to keep the memory of that alive, but also stay relevant. I think because the beauty of skateboarding is it's still progressing, it's still evolving, and if I see someone do something today that I've never seen, I'm as hyped as the first time I saw. I don't know. First time I saw someone do a nollie flip, or first time I saw Chris Pistol do a pressure flip. I'm as hyped seeing something new today as I was when I was a kid, So I think that's important to kind of keep that, I don't know. I'm quite surprised. I thought I would probably be old and jaded and be like, yeah, man, I just want to see someone do, just want to see Jeff Phillips footage all day or something. But I like that, but I also want to see someone I've never heard of do something really interesting, So, when
old Bigzo here invented the backside Bigzo tap.
Explain that. How does that look?
It's when you go up to a pole or a wall or a ledge and you do a pressure flip, and you just guide your tail, but your tail matches up. Your tail matches up like that. And it hits the wall, and then it goes back to regular.
Okay. That's what that's called?
Yep.
Okay.
They call it the Bigzo
Okay.
something.
What kind of?
I guess it's a tap, the Bigzo tap.
Can you do a switch?
No, I do it regular.
Can you do a switch? Have you tried?
No, I'm not really a switch god. You know, I don't really like trying tricks switch.
Okay.
Unless it's a switch tray.
Okay. I just wondered if you, just for the sake of it.
I guess I could try it switch. I've tried it front side, which is a little more difficult, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
And Milk Snake was just asking me if I could try it fakie, but it doesn't really make sense because it's not gonna just. You could do it fakie as a kind of a half cab, but I don't think it'll work as good or feel as good because it's the whole thing is that it bounces back the way that it came because of the pressure flip.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for that to catch on in professional skateboarding.
Okay.
So I can get some credit for it. Matt Tomasello is really the only other professional skateboarder to do that trick. So.
Okay. I'm lost. I'm really lost, but thinking of that's just really bad. I should like have a bunch of names off the top of my head. Like I said, I don't know anything about skateboarding. I've watched loads of it. And I like to be inspired by it, but I don't retain everything like I used to when I was a kid. You know, like
that's fine.
I don't.
That's fine. You know, you're just. You know, I just want to say you seem to be killing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On the Instagram.
Oh yeah, and we're glad to have you back.
Thank you. I want to do more. I know I'm very conscious of just being on Instagram because I don't really care what anybody else thinks, but it's only one very small facet of skateboarding. Obviously, it's not the standard route of film a part or shoot an interview or get a photograph from a magazine. You know, it's Instagram is a very, very tiny part of it, but it is in the grand scheme of things it is. But in actual fact, it's, people absorb a lot of skateboard into Instagram these days as
exactly.
Well. It's not the most, I will hold my hand up and say Instagram is not the most legit vehicle for showing skateboarding, but where the vast majority of it probably gets consumed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it makes me feel for people who put in hours and hours and weeks and months and pain and injuries into a video part. Say like Frankie Villani's last section. And that's effort and hours and years maybe of footage of like amazing pushing the boundary skating. And I hope that somebody, a group of people out there watch that every time they go skating. The same way as I would watch Gons in video days. But does that still,
which probably isn't the case. It's pretty disposable nowadays.
Yeah, and that's a shame.
It's a one and done scenario because he's probably going to have a next new part by the time that, somebody goes to rewatch that part.
Yeah, they probably already scrolled past it.
I know, and I hate the fact that so much, I can see as a skateboarder, I can see how much effort went into that part and how much genuine peril went into that part and effort and filming and everything. And I don't say it hasn't disappeared. For me, it hasn't disappeared, but I worry that all that effort just disappears. Whereas almost like he could have put out one of those tricks on Instagram a week for a year. Yep. And it would have had, from a marketing point of view, it would have had more longevity as a one trick a week than it would have had as a 2-3 minute part that's gone, and that's Instagram makes things disappear, unfortunately,
Well, if you're good at marketing, that's what you do after the part comes out. You start releasing trick by trick on your Instagram every single day.
Mm-hmm. I love it, but then you back it up with some park footage and just seeing you skate around, and I don't know. I think it's a real shame if people film a whole part and it just disappears. I'm sure that Frankie Villani's a rad skater. I think he's sick. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of fans that watch his part religiously every time they go skating, and then until his next part comes out. I hope that's the case.
Well, yeah, I guess I always compare it to music. It's always kind of like the same as music, where the true fans, I mean, for the fair weather fans, they're always going to want just what's current. They're going to want what's popular. But for the true fans who really love the genre, they're going to be able to know and return to that. But skateboarding is just not as respected as an art form as music or visual arts or anything like that. But for those in the know, for the true skate nerds who are diehard and live this shit and have seen every video, they know.
I think we
They'll
remember.
return to it.
I think we retain it as well. And you watch, I watched someone's part like 3 or 4 times, and I kind of have it. It's in my head. Then it's downloaded in my brain, and when I go skating, I recall it. So I don't know, just something in that too, maybe.
Well, Chris, I just want to thank you. Even though until you popped up recently, the catalog of your work, the only thing I was familiar with was Live from Antarctica. It was still probably, besides Fisk, one of my favorite parts in that video. So, yeah, I feel like it was sort of an inspiring precursor to what we're doing now.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. Like, everything's gonna be all right. That those 2 video parts. That was more. Everything's gonna be all right was my part when I got to London and I was excited about street skating. Trying to treat London the way someone like Mike Manzuri did and exploit it and find new spots and do things. That was kind of me skating more at my best, I think. And Life from Antarctica came afterwards and was more polished, maybe. But those 2 parts there, I filmed. I'm stoked. I filmed 2 like full, as legit parts as I possibly can. I'm stoked to have those to look back on, and. Yeah, I'm gonna keep referencing them because that's part of my, my, I don't know, legacy maybe, I'm hyped on those, but I want to try and do more new stuff if I can, and
you always got to be looking forward.
Yeah, I want to. It's harder, it does get harder. The one thing I'll say to people younger is just really push yourself skating when you're younger because it does get a little more difficult when you're older, I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm not complaining. I'm not playing the old guy card or any of that stuff.
Well, I'm planning on doing what you did too, because you seem to be like a lot more fit now than ever. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm feeling tired. Like I'm really tired, and like my joints are stiff. Like I have arthritis, So that's crap. That's really shitty. And I can't go, if I go street skating like all day long, like 4 or 5 hours. I took my kid into London the other day and we popped up drains and skated everywhere. And I couldn't skate for like 3 or 4 days after that. Like I was destroyed after that. So going street skating and filming all day long is really hard work now. So I miss that kind of stamina. Yeah, it's harder, but I'm not going to play an old man card or, use it as an excuse. I think I can get it. If I skate a lot more, I can just get some of that back, Yeah. But I'm enjoying it. I'm genuinely like, I'm laughing my ass off when I'm skating. I'm smiling and whooping and being a pain in the ass at the skate park and just being generally loving it, and it's genuine. So as long as I keep doing that, I'm going to keep doing it,
That's what I'm saying. Be here now,
Hell yeah.
But before we go, favorite Tom Waits album, go.
Mule Variations every time. Always.
Mule Variations.
Damn.
Kind of a later one.
Yeah, that was the one I came in at. I came in at that. Like, Foz was like, hey, check out Tom Waits. I was like, oh, dude, whatever. I don't care.
Big in Japan.
In Japan. And then, like...
What's he building in there?
What's he building there?
We keep saying Matt Tomasello should skate to What's He Building in There.
Oh, man. That makes sense. Like... Yeah, no, seriously, that album, just everything in there. Like Picture in a Frame, like that song kills me. So I love that. So
yeah.
Oh,
All right, good to know.
Perfect.
Mine will forever remain Rain Dogs, but it's good to know,
They're all good. They're all super good. Like that one it came at a time when I was ripe for Tom Waits, and that's the one that sticks for me, So
yeah. Well, Tom, if you don't have any other questions, I think this is as good a time as any to thank Chris for being on the podcast.
I was just thinking.
He's a tough guy to get on the podcast.
That's what I was thinking. We should thank him for being on the podcast. Didn't know if this was going to happen, but I'm so glad it did.
Yeah, it took me a while. Sorry, there's a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of that stuff, and just wanted to be hyped, because I'm not up every day. That's another thing about mental health. I'm not up every day. But I wanted to be up and happy and be enthusiastic about skateboarding, because I don't always feel like that. And
Yeah.
I think that's the truth of it. So, you know, yeah, I'm glad you guys were patient and did it on a day when, you know, I could be hyped, you know. So
I mean, you have no obligation to do this, so we are eternally grateful, you know.
I have been looking forward to it. It hasn't been a strain. It's just I'm
Right.
to do it.
Yeah, and I like talking to anybody else that, you know, I could tell. I mean, even though, you know, skateboarding's ageless, first of all. It's everythingless, you know. There's no boundaries in skateboarding. But you know, I like talking to anybody who, especially, I have an unusual, and Tom too, not everyone our age has the same sort of like interest in just every skate video that's ever been made from, you know, the 80s on.
Yeah.
So it's good to talk to someone who actually, you know, was more so even there when they were being made. I was born in 87.
Mm-hmm. I'm an 88 baby myself.
Yeah.
When were you born? 87? When?
February 12th. I can't tell you the exact time I was born. Why, you trying to see if our signs match or something?
I started skating October, like maybe September 87. That's when I got my first skateboard.
Oh, wow. So I was alive
So you're about 6 months old.
when you were skating. Yep.
so I started like then, and that's it's like what is that? 33 or so years. So
And Tom, he wasn't alive yet.
I wasn't alive until 1988. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
oh man, it's okay. I'll forgive you. It's cool, man. I could maybe kickflip by then. I'm not sure if like when I started, nobody did. I don't think anybody was even doing kickflips when I started skating. You know, apart from Rodman. So somebody definitely was, but anyway, So it's nice to have been through that. I think I was definitely skated through what I would, and I don't want to be a back in the day guy, but that was a really good time for skateboarding, to go from this, you know, being in the real start of street skateboarding, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And Roddy Mullen said he invented the kickflip and it almost didn't even catch on.
Yeah, I don't think I remember the first time I saw someone do a kickflip, I was like, how are you ever going to do that going fast? Like, nobody's ever going to be able to do a kickflip riding along fast. Like, I can see you doing it. It should be cool, but I can't imagine anybody riding along with any speed and doing a kickflip.
Well, I'm glad it caught on because it's one of my favorite tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sick. Like, just that, all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm glad I lived to that part. But yeah, skateboarding's sick now, and it's going to keep getting sick. And I hope I see more progression, you know? So,
Oh, yeah.
Same.
right.
I'm sure there'll be plenty more progression ahead of us.
Same. It's getting pretty scary with all those big hills in San Francisco.
And it's true. They are getting bigger with all those quakes.
Yeah.
Word. Well, Chris, thank you again for being on the Fancy Lad podcast.
We'll see you when you come to Boston. You'll see me when I come to Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come see us. Yeah, and I'll take you around down. If you're down in the south of England, I'll drive you around here, and then we're up north. We'll go out with Ford and Dead Dave and go and see the delightful north of England.
That sounds great.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
Well, thanks again, Chris.
Thank you.
Chris, keep killing it. And you know what? Don't be a stranger at the same time, too.
That's true.
Okay.
Hit me up anytime, you know. Don't think of me as, you know, Bigzo, big-time celebrity.
Right.
Just think of me as Bigzo, party guy.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah.